Expectations here will always remain high, and we'll continue to find a way.
Guys put together a lot of good games, you know.
Welcome into Utah Grizzlies Hockey Live right here on YouTube. If you have not yet, please give us a thumbs up and a like. Make sure you subscribe because Grizzlies Hockey will be live on YouTube all season long. This is your pregame show presented by America First Credit Union. And without further ado, let's take you into the house and show you exactly what's going on the ice as your Utah Grizzlies and the Idaho Steelheads get ready for a battle today. Yeah, I said today. It's Sunday afternoon in West Valley City at the Maverik Center, and the boys are on the ice. That's Trent Miner getting peppered by the guys. One of the big stories today is Andrew Nielsen, big number 44, is on the ice warming up, hoping to play today. You know that Andrew's been out of the lineup the last couple of nights with a injury, and so you're hoping to get him back tonight. That'd be a big addition on this blue line for your Utah Grizzlies, mainly because they've really struggled for depth back there with guys like Nate Klerman, who you know is an NHL caliber player. He gets called up to the AHL. A guy like, again, Andrew Nielsen missing some time through injury, as is James Shearer missing some time through injury. So what you see is a lot less depth on that blue line. It'd be great to get big number 44 back on the ice for your Utah Grizzlies. But the first two games of this series have not been pretty, folks. It is 10-1 after two games in favor of the bad guys from Idaho. The Steelheads lead this series 10-1 this weekend. The Grizzlies are going to have to figure out how to do that. And when we come back here on YouTube, we're getting you ready for Game 3 of the series. We're going to show you some highlights, some tape. Let's talk about how little things go from little to big and they create problems. We're getting you ready for face-off. The Grizzlies and the Steelheads live at the Maverik Center on a Sunday afternoon. This is Utah Grizzlies Hockey.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Welcome back to the Maverik Center on a Sunday afternoon, a 3:10 face-off as the boys are on the ice. The Utah Grizzlies going up against the Idaho Steelheads on a Sunday. There are a few more Sunday games on the schedule this year than we're used to. Some will be at 1 o'clock today. It's 3:10 right here in West Valley City. This is a pregame show presented by America First Credit Union. And one of the things we've seen in the first two games of this three-game set is little things becoming big things and big problems and goals. And one of the things you're going to notice right here is not clearing the puck out all the way is leading to turnovers and shots. And you see how quickly Idaho gets through the zone there. And one of the things you're also going to notice is when it's in the Utah Grizzlies end, Idaho is putting it on Trent Miner. There you see a shot and a save right there. But here's a face-off. You win it. And you have Victor Bartley to Connor McDonald. He tries to get it to Taryn Fizer, who bobbles it. And what do you know? The Idaho Steelheads are Johnny on the spot. And look how this play now develops with Idaho getting another prime opportunity until the Grizzlies are able to get that puck out to center ice. And the issue is you don't come out of the zone with any kind of momentum. That's always a problem. You want to come through the neutral zone with a lot of momentum, and this Utah Grizzlies team is so fast and so skilled that you always want to give those guys a chance to come out with momentum. But the thing you're seeing is they're not. And then what you'll notice is that when you have an opportunity like Connor McDonald does right here, make the simple play, but what happens? He doesn't find Vic Bartley or Dylan Fitz up the board, dumps it out. Colorado is able to get it right back through the neutral zone, and look how quickly that puck is behind Trent Miner, and now you have another opportunity to clear that puck out, but it's doing twice the work because you're just dumping that puck to center ice. That is absolutely a real problem, and one of those turnover issues led to a goal the other night, and this time it's Colatarchi. Unfortunately, we're going to highlight here, right there. He has an easy opportunity to either backpedal or take his time. He tries to one-touch it to Cam Strong. Well, that didn't work, and now he doubles the effort to try and block the shot, but it may have deflected right off the blade of his stick into the net over Trent Miner's shoulder. So that little play in the neutral zone you saw right there, where he just could have backed up, he could have held on to the puck. Instead, he tries to make a one-time pass. You'll see right here, that's Colatarchi right now. All he had to do was backpedal or throw it across, and he didn't. Cam Strong misses it. And now look how quickly Idaho right back in the zone, shot, deflection, score. And now all of a sudden in a hotly contested one-goal game, now it's a one-goal game, rather, I should say, in a hotly contested game where, frankly, the Utah Grizzlies had played pretty well through two periods there. You find yourself, instead of tied going to the third, you find yourself trailing 1-0, and it is a very difficult place to be against a club like the Idaho Steelheads, who frankly are scoring a lot more goals this year than they did last year. They've now got a 7-point advantage over the Utah Grizzlies in the Mountain Division. That's a lot of points, and it sets up a situation where today is absolutely a must-win for your Utah Grizzlies. On the positive side, the Utah Grizzlies have been very good at the face-off dot. They have been excellent, in fact, and Zach Sekos is one of those guys. Good old number 17, you see, look at the control the Grizzlies get when you win face-offs, and Zach Sekos has won a lot of face-offs for the Utah Grizzlies. When you win the face-off, you're able to control the game. There's just no doubt about that, and against a team like the Steelheads, you have to win the game, and winning draws on the power play is absolutely imperative against a team like Idaho. Look at this, easy Connor McDonald to Victor Bartley, and all of a sudden that puck is out and it is behind the Idaho net, killing that penalty. Winning faceoffs is something that you at home, as you watch the game today, that's something that you can absolutely focus on for Tyson to talk about. Hey, did Zach Sekos win the draw, right? Did the Utah Grizzlies win the draw, take control, get the puck out, come out with momentum? Because I think you're going to hear us talk a lot about that today. The Grizzlies have to come out of their own end when they're playing defense, transferring to offense. They have to come out of their own end with a lot of momentum, get through the neutral zone fast. Those are keys to win for this team coached by Ryan Kanasowicz. Speaking of which, had a good conversation with Ryan Kanasowicz before the game today. Spoke to him, I don't know, probably half an hour ago. And we talked about the day off and all those things. He talked about what this team needs to do to win this game. Don't go anywhere. You're going to hear our conversation with the head coach and general manager of the Utah Grizzlies, Ryan Kanasowicz, next on the pregame show presented by America First Credit Union.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverik, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. and I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverik's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Welcome back to the Maverik Center right here in West Valley City, Utah, as we get you ready for Utah Grizzlies hockey on a Sunday afternoon. Face-off's about 20 minutes away right now, so don't go anywhere. Coming up, Tyson Whiting's going to have a full preview of the lineup for you. We're still waiting to hear about Andrew Nielsen's availability today. Andrew went through warm-ups as he's been battling back from an injury, so it'd be great to have big number 44 back on the blue line. Certainly that would be an upgrade tonight, as it is Game 3 between the Idaho Steelheads and your Utah Grizzlies, and the Steelheads have had their way the first two nights. They have a cumulative score of 10-1. Not only have the Grizzlies not been scoring goals, but the Idaho Steelheads have in volume, so we'll see how they come out today. And without further ado, let's ask that same exact question of your head coach and general manager, Ryan Kanasowicz. He joins us every pregame show to break down what we see coming up, and I started by asking him, how big is the game today?
So, how are you feeling? Obviously, the series has not started the way you wanted to, so how are things for you?
Yeah, I think obviously Friday night I thought we played a little better. We're just, the group's fragile right now, I think, just with some confidence. You look at that chance that Cameron Wright had in the third, like, they had a wide open net. Like, he usually scores that. He scores that, it's 2-1, we got a whole different game. So our message to them today is just kind of, just relax and go out and do what you do best, and we'll see. Hopefully, we get the result we want tonight.
Yeah, is it as simple as just scoring more goals? Is it as simple as just win this one game? And I know you can't go back in time, but it's a 3-game series against your rival. Like, how much emotion goes in that tonight?
A lot. Obviously our backs are against the wall tonight. I think scoring goals has been an issue. Obviously at home we only have 1 in 2 games. We're out chancing them according to our analytics system. So we're doing some good things. To me, we just haven't looked at ourselves. We've looked a little off. We've kind of looked slow. We haven't been connecting with passes, and that to me is a confidence issue. And our message to them was just go out and play with a little bit of swagger, and things will come.
How do you grade Trent Miner the other night? Because he was especially it looked early on, he was pretty busy. Were you happy with how Trent played?
Yeah, he'll get the start again tonight. I thought. Didn't really like the first goal. I'm sure Trent will probably say the same thing, but I thought he battled, competed, kept us in the game, and we just got to give him some run support.
And then how do you guys take control of the neutral zone? It seems like that's something you preach a lot. I know you guys work on that a lot. So are you happy with what your guys are doing in the neutral zone, and how do you improve there?
We just got to start using our speed a little more. Normally when we're dialed in, our passing's a lot better, and we're able to go play downhill on teams. And it's just these last couple games have just been sloppy, and it just hasn't been ourselves. So hopefully, the day off yesterday kind of reset the boys, and we'll rectify that tonight.
Yeah, the schedule's a little interesting. I mean, obviously it's 3 o'clock on a Sunday after being off on a Saturday. Does that impact you one way or the other?
No, it's weird being home on a Saturday night. I was able to sit back and relax while I watched the Oilers play last night, and watch some of the youth football. It's kind of weird to be home on a Saturday, but it happens from time to time, and it's part of the business.
Yeah, you don't know what to do with yourself because you're so used to being at the rink, right? Like, do you find yourself like sitting on the couch wondering what to do? Like, how do you deal with odd time off like that?
Yeah, my wife woke up and she said, "Oh, you're late." I was like, "No, it's we don't play. It's Saturday." Even my mom texted me last night, said, "Good luck tonight." And she just didn't look at the schedule, I guess. But yeah, it's pretty rare for us not to play on a Saturday. But it was nice to have a day off and just kind of relax.
Well, good luck tonight.
Thank you.
I know, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Hey, welcome back. Good to hear from Ryan Kanasowicz right there as we get you ready for face-off. It's interesting to talk to Ryan there, and I think the thing that we find out very quickly when we talk to Ryan is that he's a pretty straight shooter. And I don't think that this is a game this afternoon here at the Maverik Center that's about, standing points. And I know that we all worry about standing points, and we all worry about, hey, how far back, how far ahead, where are you with 500? I don't think a lot of players in that locker room right now are worried about that. I think what a lot of people are worried about is playing for your pride and showing that, you know what, hey, we know the last 2 nights have not been good enough. I truly believe that's what this game today is about. So a couple of things that you can look at as we head for face-off here at Maverik Center. Don't forget, we're about 15 minutes away, a 3:10 face-off between the Utah Grizzlies and the Idaho Steelheads. I don't think there's any question that today winning face-offs is going to be critically important, because what that allows the Utah Grizzlies to do is regain control. And, as you look at the highlight package here, you see what happens when you win face-offs. It just allows you to control the puck and you dictate the pace of the game. It's something that the Utah Grizzlies have really struggled with in this series. We saw them on their road trip be much better about controlling the pace and controlling the urgency with those face-offs. The issue becomes when they're not able to get through the neutral zone fast enough, as Ryan Kanasowicz talked about there. You have to come out of your zone with a lot of momentum. So I think one of the things that you can absolutely look at tonight, how fast do the Grizzlies and how long does it take them to get through the neutral zone? Are they passing their way through the neutral zone, or are they slowly skating? How many turnovers are there? Because that's something also that is really, I guess the word is plague this Utah Grizzlies team, where they'll just turn the puck over at inopportune times. I think we saw it here. You're going to see this highlight again where Kolatarchi, unfortunately right here, just doesn't take his time, and he misses Cam Strong with a pass. And look how quickly Idaho counters and puts this puck in the net. It's really fast, and that's what this game is about. It is about a game of inches. Everything happens in hockey very quickly, and most times things happen too quickly for you to adjust to that. So those are some of the things you can look at, and it goes without saying, goaltending is going to be huge in this game this afternoon at the Maverik Center, because you know that Trent Miner is rock solid. That's the guy that's on an NHL deal. He's a draft pick of the Colorado Avalanche. Trent Miner for your Utah Grizzlies will be in pipes tonight, for your Grizzlies. Remy Poirier, number 31 for the Idaho Steelheads, who is fantastic. And if you think Jake Kupski's been really good for the first 2 games of this series, Remy Poirier can play a little bit as well. So the goaltending matchup tonight is going to be very good. And, Guy Carenza is going to have stats for you during the intermissions tonight. Listen to the stats about shots on goal. Who's going to win the shots on goal battle in this game tonight? Because those are always determining factors on who's controlling the game. I take a breath to say, don't go anywhere. This is going to be a dandy. Straight ahead, Tyson Whiting's going to take you up to face-off, and then Tyson and I will have the call for you right here on YouTube. Please, everybody watching right now, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, because we have a huge day of hockey straight ahead. This is the America First Credit Union, and it's Utah Grizzlies hockey.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Live from the Maverik Center in West Valley City, it's Utah Grizzlies Hockey, as tonight's the series finale between the Grizzlies and the Idaho Steelheads. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Utah Grizzlies Hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting. This is the third and final game of the set. Idaho won on Thursday night 6-1. On Friday, Jake Kupski got a 21-save shutout as Idaho got a 4-0 victory. They scored 3 in the third period, and the Steelheads this season have outscored their opposition 22-6 in the third periods. They're a high-powered team led by head coach Everett Sheen. They missed the playoffs last year, and they want to make sure that that never happens again. And they're off to a fast start this season. For the Grizzlies, Andrew Nilsson did not play on Friday night. Breaking news, he took warm-ups for the Grizzlies. He was a game-time decision. Andrew Nilsson is good to go for Utah. And that's certainly big because you think about the leading scorer on the Grizzlies so far this season. He's got 1 goal and 12 assists. Nilsson's a guy that has the size, 6'4", 230 pounds. And we saw Friday night Corey Thomas making his Grizzlies debut. He's about 6'5" and 215 pounds. So Grizzlies do have a good amount of size there on the blue line. And I'm interested in seeing what Connor McDonald's able to do once again, the Grizzlies captain. But Utah does need to generate a little bit more offense. Only 1 goal in their last 2 games. They won 4 in a row before losing 3 in a row. And I think for Utah, a team that's got a lot of pride, can they find a way to get the back of the net? Cameron Wright, certainly Ben Dewey's got 3 goals this season. All of them are game winners. And it seems like Zach Sekos and Taryn Pfizer have been stuck on 6 goals for quite a while. I got a feeling they're going to be due. And Guy Carenza, who's usually with me every game, he's my right-hand man. He's been talking about Brandon Cutler. Cutler looked good in warm-ups, and it almost feels like he's on the brink of having a big game. He's actually going to be Guy Carenza's pick to click. Everybody make your pick to click before the game on the live chat on YouTube. That's going to be where we look at. And that pick to click, obviously, who's going to be the number 1 star for the Grizzlies tonight. He's going to go with Brandon Cutler. I got a strange feeling this is going to be Tyler Penner's game. Out in front of the net, Penner's done he's one of those guys who's a good two-way forward, and I got a feeling that Sundays, in particular last season, Penner played particularly well. So I think Tyler's going to have a good opportunity to get some goals here tonight, and the Grizzlies just need to get some traffic out in front. According to what I heard earlier today, the Grizzlies did outchance the Steelheads in each of the first 2 games, but converting those scoring chances, and we did see it, even though Idaho did have an edge on the shot count in the first 2 games of the series, scoring chances were pretty much even through 2 games. So can the Grizzlies capitalize on their scoring chances? That's going to be a big factor in whether they win this game tonight. It's an interesting 3 o'clock start. Fans are still filing in here. First Sunday game of the regular season for the Grizzlies here at home. Don't forget the Grizzlies next week will be against the Trois-Rivieres Lions. 3-game set here at Maverik Center this upcoming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Don't forget that Saturday is the Grizzlies' second annual Pride Night presented by FedEx, and Sunday is going to be a 3 o'clock start, as is today's game. Trent Miner gets the start in net. He'll be going up against Remy Poirier, who got the start on Thursday night. When we come back to the Grizzlies pregame report presented by America First Credit Union, we'll have starting lineups for both teams. This is Utah Grizzlies Hockey.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick 6 or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you. I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick 6 or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
back to Maverik Center. I'm Tyson Whiting. Third and final game of the set here on a Sunday afternoon. We'll go over some of the scores in the world of sports during the intermission. Let's get to the starting lineups first for the visiting Idaho Steelheads, led by head coach and general manager Everett Sheen. His assistant is Keenan Kelly. Idaho is 9-2-0-1 this season. They are 5-1-0-1 on the road, and that's noteworthy because they just won 11 road games last season. So they've been a much improved road team here to start the season. Starting in net's going to be Remy Poirier. He'll be making his fourth appearance this season. He's got a 2-0-0-1 record with a 2.57 goals against average and 904 save percentage. On Friday night, Jake Kupski got a 21 save shutout. Kupski is the backup. He's got 3 shutouts this season, 2 of them against the Grizzlies. Starting defensive pairing, Darren Brady, who's a +11 this season and has 2 assists in 6 games. He'll be lined up next to Matt Register, who's a +14 this season. He's got 1 goal and 4 assists in 12 games. Brady and Register are the starting defensive pairing. Interestingly enough, there was 3 different defensemen that scored a goal for Idaho on Thursday night, and none of them were Brady and Register, their top defensive pairing. Starting forwards for the Steelheads, Justin Ducharme, making his second appearance in a Steelhead uniform. He played in 2 games earlier this season with the Texas Stars. He's a +1. He's 6 feet and 183 pounds. He made his Steelheads debut on Friday night. A.J. White, the Steelheads captain, is a +5 this season, 2 goals and 5 assists in 12 games. And Jonas Vandenberg's got a goal in back-to-back games this series. He's got 9 points in 12 games. Scratches for the Steelheads tonight: Justin Timmons, Casey Johnson, Willie Nerum, Zach Walker, Cody Heiskanen, and Jordan Kawaguchi. Another guy to watch out for Idaho is Ryan Domowski, who's got a goal in 7 of 12 games this season. Starting in net for the Grizzlies is Trent Miner, who's got a record of 1-3 this season. It'll be his 6th appearance of the year. He's got a 3.38 goals against average and 899 save percentage. Miner will be wearing number 50. His backup tonight is Garrett Metcalf. Lucas Preek is a scratch once again. Starting defensive pairing for the Grizzlies, Bryson Martin, who's got 1 assist in 12 games, a former third-round pick of the Buffalo Sabres. He'll be paired up with Victor Bartley, who's got 1 assist in 8 games. The big story coming into play, Andrew Nilsson was a game-time decision. He went through warm-ups. Nilsson will be in the Grizzlies lineup. He leads the team with 12 assists and 13 points this year, and he'll be instrumental on the Grizzlies' power play as he leads the league still in power play assists and power play points with 8. And remember, 5 of those came in 1 game against the Kansas City Mavericks on November 5th. Nilsson will also be in there with Connor McDonald, the Grizzlies captain. Corey Thomas making his second appearance in a Grizzlies uniform. Thomas will be wearing number 3, and Joey Kolatarchi will also be in there wearing number 4. 11 forwards for the Grizzlies tonight. Starting forwards include Taryn Pfizer as my pick to click. Everybody make your pick to click on the live chat on the YouTube feed, as YouTube's the official audio provider of the Grizzlies, and the game's also on Flow Sports for the video feed. Taryn Pfizer wearing number 8. He's tied for the team lead with 8 goals this season. Tyler Penner has 1 goal in 12 games. I'd mentioned Penner being somebody to watch out for. It feels like he's due. He got his lone goal of the season on a redirection out in front of the net, and it feels like Penner could be active for the Grizzlies in front of the net here tonight. And Brandon Cutler is a pick to click of Guy Carenza, who's hanging out here high atop section 114. Cutler's got 3 goals and 2 assists, all of them coming on the power play in 10 games. And watch out for Cutler and Nilsson in particular when the Grizzlies are on the power play. So starting forwards are Pfizer, Penner, and Cutler. Starting defensive pairing is Bryson Martin and Victor Bartley. The other forwards are expected to see tonight include Johnny Walker, who's got 4 goals in his last 6 games. Keaton Jamison, who's got 1 assist in 11 games. Jamison celebrated a birthday on Friday night, this past Friday. Cameron Wright has 2 goals and 6 assists in his last 7 games. Sekos is tying for the club lead with Pfizer with 6 goals, but Sekos does lead the Grizzlies with a +4 rating. Dakota Raby has 1 goal and 2 assists in 12 games. He'll be in there wearing number 22. We'll also see Cam Strong and Neil Robinson. Scratches for the Grizzlies tonight: defensemen Jordan Stone, Kyle Pouncey, and James Shearer. 1 forward is out, and that's Christian Simeone. And we mentioned Lucas Preek is out tonight. He's a scratch, and Garrett Metcalf is the backup to Trent Miner. We pay our respects to the armed forces here at Maverik Center on a Sunday afternoon. And if you're watching on YouTube, you got the video board out in front. Grizzlies honor their first responders every game here at Maverik Center. And now the time for our national anthem. here at Maverik Center on a Sunday afternoon. That's our national anthem here on a Sunday afternoon at Maverik Center. I'm Tyson Whiting, high atop section 114. And guess what? Monty's also high atop section 114 here this afternoon. Monty, big game for the Grizzlies, and I think it's certainly big that Andrew Nilsson is in the Grizzlies lineup. Took warm-ups, and he's going to give it a go.
Oh, man, you're not kidding. This blue line has been decimated by injuries and call-ups. It'll be very interesting to see exactly, Tyson, how this club reacts to all of these changes, because what you really need here is you need a performance tonight. And I could be wrong about this, but you need a performance tonight, I think, that's game-changing. I think you need right now to take a stand against what you've been the last two games. If we're being really honest, and Ryan Kanasowicz told me before the game tonight that there's just no question that this has not been good enough. There's no question that the team wants to win, but you have to do the little things to win games, and we touched on it on the America First Credit Union pregame show tonight, and that is that you got to win draws. You got to get through the neutral zone very quickly. Let's see if they can do it. The voice of the Utah Grizzlies is Tyson Whiting.
Tatu Kunto is the referee, drops the puck at center ice. Grizzlies win it. They're skating from right to left as we see it from high atop section 114. Your mind's eye see it on YouTube. Grizzlies getting out towards center ice with Penner near the bench area. It's taken back by Justin Ducharme of Idaho as the Steelheads. Right wing, White crosses center ice. He gets knocked down by Pfizer. Puck deflects off a skate, goes to Darren Brady. He'll throw it ahead to Ducharme. He'll dump it in. Puck rolls around the boards. It goes to the right corner of the Grizzlies zone as White feeds it to the right circle for Ducharme. Cross ice pass, shot, and a score. A one-timer from the left circle connects. As the Steelheads, I think that's Shaunus Vandenbergs who got the start.
It is.
That's the goal in 3 straight games in this series. Vandenbergs has given the Steelheads a 1-0 lead 29 seconds in.
Well, so we just talked about it. It is the little things that you don't do. Just out of the reach of the Utah Grizzlies defenseman, you had a pass behind the net, and because you didn't get there, it winds up in the back of your net. And I don't mean to wear this point out, Tyson, but the little things have to be perfect for the Grizzlies to win right now, it would appear.
A lot of little things turn into a big thing as the puck is at center ice. Idaho won the draw. Steelheads will dump it in. Jack Becker in the area, and it goes to McDonald to the right side, back to right. We'll throw it to the left side for Andrew Nilsson, who missed Friday night, and it's good to see him back in the lineup as he rolls it around the boards to the right corner. As the Grizzlies, Sekos around the net, he throws it to the left corner. Idaho in the area, Jack Becker, he loses his balance. Sekos gets the puck, he'll throw it to the right side off the boards for McDonald. Connor has it deflect off Justin Misiak's stick. Misiak scored a big third period goal on Friday night. McDonald, right point shot, and that one goes wide as it rolls around the boards. And out to neutral ice, Wade Murphy will cross center 2-on-3. Murphy steps over the line, drops off on the right side, Becker. Around the net, I tried to feed it out in front, hit off of McDonald and goes to the high slot. Owen Hedrick, number 7, gives it to Becker, drops it off. Now it goes to Murphy, slot, shot. Kick save by Minor, and Trent holds on. 1:25 in. Idaho leads 1-0.
Well, it's fascinating to watch how quickly the Idaho Steelheads are getting through the neutral zone, and it's something we've seen the first 2 games, Tyson, where it's a pass through. You can be on, Idaho's on their own dot, bam, pass through to the red line, pass through to the blue line, and all of a sudden they're on top of you or it's behind your net.
Draws in the right circle. Steelheads have taken the first 2 shots of this game. Ty Pelton-Bice was the #1 star on Thursday night. He takes face-off against Keaton Jamison. Jamison wins the draw. Grizzlies skate from right to left as they flip it high into the air under the new video board here at Maverik Center. Robinson gets around Kudla. Jamison deep in the Steelhead zone. Kudla takes it away. Kudla's been a star in each of the first 2 games of this series. Out to the left lane for Keller. Keller skates into the left circle, into the corner. He gets pushed along the boards by Bryson Martin. Idaho spins it to the right point for Hedrick. He'll feed it across to Brady. He'll take a shot saved by Minor. Pelton-Bice over to Keller behind the net. Keller skates towards the right corner over to Hedrick. Shot, and that one goes wide on a one-timer. It rolls along the far wall out to center ice. As Brady back in his own zone, Grizzlies make a line change. Dylan Fitz battling. He takes it away from Brady. Fitz along the near wall in the offensive zone over to Martin. He'll take a shot on a glance stop at Keller and goes wide off the glass. Sekos over towards Cam Strong. He gets held up by Hedrick in the corner. Idaho comes up with it as Brady will throw it back towards the right point. And Corey Thomas around as now throws up top for Kolatarchi. Kola with a shot that gets blocked. And taking it is Ryan Domowski. He'll clear it into the Grizzlies zone. Watch out for Domowski. He's got a goal in 7 of 12 games this season. He's got 10 goals overall. Kolatarchi left wing crosses center ice. No lightly tapping into the Steelhead zone. Remy Poirier behind his net. Fans wanted to call as Kolatarchi went down. None to be had as Zane Franklin will throw it across. Good job by Sekos getting a stick in the way. Minor behind the net. Puck bounced over a stick as it goes to the right side. As Idaho, Jade Miller, number 26, a former South Carolina Stingray. Turnover shot saved by Minor as Ducharme had a golden opportunity in the right side. Utah flips out to center ice. It's gloved by Brady and immediately dropped. Utah makes a line change. 3 minutes into the game, Steelheads lead 1-0 as Spangenberg scored 29 seconds in. Registers a +14 this season, up ahead to center ice. Pass to Ducharme. He'll enter the zone and dump it in. As the Grizzlies got back defensively, Idaho makes a line change behind the plays. McDonald throws to Nilsson. Andrew wearing number 44. He was number 40 last year. Out to this year's number 40, Cutler. And it bounces off his stick as it goes to the right point. As Penner skates towards the corner, tries to drop it off, but the only guy there was Misiak. And he'll throw it to center ice where it's regathered by Connor McDonald. He'll throw it to Nilsson. It bounces off his skate. Now it goes to Spangenberg, out to the left point. Canati over to Bardo, right side shot, saved by Minor, and Trent holds on. 1-0 Steelheads, but turnover could have easily made it 2-0, but Trent made a nice stop about a minute ago on Justin Ducharme.
Yeah, and if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the goal that Idaho got here, and it just, Tyson, it's again just out of your reach. An excellent cross-ice diagonal pass, and Idaho pounds that puck home. I don't know that there's anything that Trent Minor could have done about that. And it's these, I don't mean to keep saying little things, but that little Nielsen turnover that leads to a shot, man, you got to clean those things up against a quality club like Idaho.
Draws in the right circle. Zach Sekos been outstanding on the faceoff circle. He also leads the team with a +4 rating. Sekos wins the draw as Bryson Martin gets back checked. Idaho pokes it deep into the Grizzlies zone. Victor Bartley gets it along the end wall as Cameron Wright gets hit by Spangenberg. Misiak trying to get it over to A.J. White. Utah cuts in front of him, and it was Sekos. Now Martin throws it out to center ice. Raby's pass. Raby was trying to accept the pass. It got poked away. Misiak dumps it in. Bartley behind the goal line gets it. He'll throw it to the near side from Martin. Back over to Raby. He'll feed it across to Sekos. Sekos skates along the bench area. Right side. He'll skate into the zone. He'll throw it towards right. He takes a shot that goes wide. Raby and Wright battling. Raby gets it. He'll feed it over to the right side. Kolatarchi skates over there, but Domowski gets there first and will bounce it off the far boards. Puck glides towards Trent Minor. He's got to play it in the crease. No icing as Corey Thomas, a former Steelhead, gets it. He'll throw a blue line to blue line pass, and the Grizzlies are offside. It looked like Idaho got a stick in the way. Draw's going to be at neutral ice.
Yeah, and that's much better pace through the neutral zone. Guy Carenzo will join us in the intermissions with some statistics, and one of them, I guarantee he's going to talk about, Tyson, is the fact that Idaho has already got a 5-0 shot lead, and we are only 15:23 to go in the first period. Idaho up 1-0.
Draws in the right side near the Steelheads bench, neutral ice. It's won by Utah. Corey Thomas will dump it in. When Thomas scores his first goal in a Grizzlies uniform, it will be his first as a pro. He played at Vermont and Canisius. Thomas gets it in the high slot. He'll bounce it off the end wall. More of a pass than a shot as Idaho will throw it out to Becker. Will ricochet off the far boards. Taken back by Jamison, who dumps it in. Idaho will throw it rink wide out to the right side from Murphy. His pass to Domowski's behind him. Becker trying to get it, but Jamison took it away. Jameson bouncing off the far boards. It's taken by Patrick Cutler, number 47. Cutler's an impressive defenseman. He'll get it head to Becker, over to Murphy, right point. Back over to Becker. He couldn't handle it initially. He skates around the net, gets the puck, throws to Cutler. Now to Hedrick. He'll feed it to the right circle. Nobody was there as it bounces off the end wall. As Murphy and Ducharme battling with Thomas and Penner. Penner will nudge it towards Nilsson. Andrew will fire it off a Steelhead stick, and it goes to Pfizer. Utah's numbers. Pfizer right side centers at the Cutler. He'll take a shot and hits the side of the net. Kind of a tough angle there by Cutler by the time he got the pass. As Cutler throws it to the right side, Ducharme and Penner battle. Penner throws it around the boards, but it's cut off by Cutler behind the net, his net. Now to Murphy, who gets hit by Pfizer. Murphy will lift it out to center ice. The puck bounces over Connor McDonald. Connor will run it down in his corner on the far side. He gets hit by Ducharme, but Utah takes it over as Victor Bartley skates around his net. They'll throw it out to center ice for Penner. Penner right wing crosses center, dumps it in, but it just got barely into the Idaho zone where it's taken by Register. He'll feed it across to Keller. Keller in the right point will dump it to the left corner. Steelheads in their offensive zone, and Utah will nudge it to Sekos, who will feed it away out to center ice. Darren Brady, who's got an A on his sweater, will fire it to the right corner. It's gloved by Bartley and dropped. Over to Sekos. They'll skate along cross center ice. Sekos will skate down the middle as he's got two guys around him. Sekos to the corner, trying to get it to Raby. Passes behind him as Ducharme will throw it to Keller. He crosses center ice. Keller will skate into the zone, but the Steelheads are offside as Ty Pelton Bice got there a little bit too early. That means there's a timeout on the ice. 13:27 left in the first. Jonas Vandenberg scored 29 seconds in. Steelheads 1 and Utah 0 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Mountain Land Supply Company.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Idaho 1, Utah 0. 13:27 left in the first period. Steelheads 5 shots. Grizzlies have yet to take one on Remy Poirier, who got the start on Thursday. Poirier on Friday got called up to the AHL's Texas Stars, and it was just a 2-day stint as he's back in Idaho today for this afternoon's game. Jake Kupski, who got the shutout, 21 saves on Friday, is his backup. Idaho wins the draw as Domowski around Brown Bryson Martin. A great play by Martin, making Domowski redirect himself, and that's what caused an offside as the timing got messed up. Very smart play by Bryson Martin, who's with his 8th different ECHL team.
Yeah, Bryson's very experienced, very much a veteran defenseman. Always like to see those guys make those little plays, T, that make a big difference.
Draws near the Grizzlies bench. And it's won by Domowski. Took it away from right. And he'll dump it in, does Domowski. Minor behind his net in his 6th game this season. Over to Corey Thomas. Ahead to Sekos, who's battling with Zane Franklin wearing number 37. Thomas will throw it out to center ice. It bounces off the stick of Cameron Wright and goes flying into the Steelhead zone deep. Wright got it poked away. Raby battling. Couldn't quite get a handle in the slot out in front. As right in the corner, I tried to center it to Raby, and Matt Register, the experienced one, cut in front of him. But if Register's not there, it could be a tie game. But the puck back in the Grizzlies zone. Raby gets it. They'll throw it ahead. Hits off of Franklin. Utah will throw it across to Nilsson on the near side. Nilsson back to the captain, Connor McDonald. Connor in his 2nd season with Utah over to Nilsson. He'll throw it out to center ice for Pfizer. Tapped off his stick and flies into the Steelhead zone where Darren Brady will roll it around the boards. Vandenberg has already got a goal today. He's got a goal in all 3 games this series. He gets the puck. He'll throw it across to Brady, still in the Idaho zone. As Brady neutralized, will feed it across to Vandenberg. He's in Grizzlies territory, dumps it in as it bounced off the backboards near the Maverik sign. McDonald over to Pfizer. He gets it to Cam Strong. Strong, 2-on-3, will bounce off the boards. They were looking for Johnny Walker out in front. Idaho picked that off as well. As the Steelheads Ducharme will step over the offensive line and roll it around the boards. It's cut out by Utah behind their net. Pass ahead to Walker. He'll nudge it to his left for Strong. Strong to center ice. Bounces off the boards near Idaho's bench. Utah will get some fresh skaters on the ice as Nilsson comes off. as Nick Canati out to center ice pass. A.J. White cut the other way. Bartley takes it. Bartley skates along the near wall. Will fire it across to Walker. Tough angled shot saved by Poirier. Wraparound shot saved by Poirier. Rebound goes to Bardo as Jamison was looking for his first of the year and came just that. He just missed it by that much.
Oh, man, really close and really smart angle. Those wraparounds from post to post are not easy.
Robinson crosses center ice, bouncing off of Murphy. It's taken by Fitz. Fitz, one of the assistant captains, left circle. Shot saved by Poirier. Rebound goes to Murphy, and they'll throw it out to center ice. That goes past everybody. And looks like it's going to be icing on Idaho with 11:18 left in the first. Idaho took the first 5 shots of the game, but the Grizzlies have answered with 3 straight shots of their own.
Much better momentum, much better ability to get through the neutral zone for the Grizzlies, coming through with a lot more momentum, coming through with a lot more speed. And I think that's why you see now the last 3 shots have gone to the Grizzlies, Tyson, because they simply have been better. They've been faster. Their passing has been better.
Draws give me the right circle. Tyler Penner will take it. He's in his second season with the Grizzlies, was with the SPHL's Birmingham Bulls in the 2020-21 season. Over to the right side, Pfizer feeds it around the boards. Penner skates over there. Penner is actually a teammate of Cam Strong's with Birmingham 2 years ago. Out to Bryson Martin to center ice for Pfizer. He feeds it across to Penner. It bounced off his stick. Penner, the Iron Man last season, gets cut out in front in the corner by Bardo. Cutler's over there as well. Puck squirts towards the right side. Cutler centers it to Pfizer. He'll take a shot. Saved by Poirier. Rebound goes out to the left side. Bartley feeds it to the corner, but Becker picks it off, and he'll bounce it out to center ice. Demowski will nudge it ahead. It goes back to Cutler. Will feed it across to Martin. Now back to Cutler along the left wing boards. He'll drop it off for Bartley deep in the Grizzly zone. Bartley out to center ice for Cutler. Brandon, who spent some time last year with Abbotsford in the AHL. He skates towards his right and dumps it in as Idaho gets it to center ice. Steelheads very quick in the transition game as Pfizer dumps it in. Hedrick has to run after it in his left circle. He'll feed it across to Cudla. He'll throw it from east to west out to Demowski. Right circle shot saved by Minor.
Ooh.
Rebound gets squirted out to the right side. McDonald being shadowed by Keller. And Thomas will nudge it to the corner. Pass up ahead, Utah along the wall, and gets over to Sekos at center ice. He'll drop it off for Raby. Raby loses the stick. It goes to Colatarchi. Cola to center ice, throws it in, and skating in's right, but the Grizzlies are offside with 9:58 left in the first.
Isn't that how the puck is bounced, Tyson? Like, you have a guy like, Dakota Raby, who's as skilled as anybody. How do you drop your stick? But, I mean, the great save that Poirier makes on Taryn Pfizer, and let's be honest, Pfizer hit him right on that right pad, but that's a great save. Great job by Remy Poirier being in position.
He cut out just a little bit in front of the crease to cut off the shooting angle for Pfizer as Utah wins the face-off and dumps it in. Poirier behind his net gives it over towards Cudla. Now Svanenberg's back to Cudla, who's over in the far corner. Idaho skating from left to right here in the first period as Hedrick will bounce it off the far glass. Now over to right, centering pass shot. That goes wide as Wright was in the slot, got a centering feed and just fired it wide. Now Wright in the left circle as he'll skate towards the net. Now looking for a centering pass to hit off of Hedrick. Then Sekos with a shot and a save. Now to the right side. Shot goes wide by Robinson, who's got Utah's lone goal this series. Idaho out to the near side, still deep in their own zone as Svanenberg's gets chased by 2 Grizzlies over in the corner. Svanenberg feeds it across. Cudla along the end wall. Throw up pass through Charm. Grizzlies cut it off on the right point. McDonald fakes a shot. He'll throw it to Sekos. Sekos with a shot. Got redirected, but goes wide. Well, Utah could sure use one of those redirections to end up in the back of the net. As Svanenberg's along the near side. He'll cross center and he'll lift it into the left corner as it bounces off the Rio Tinto sign on one hop. White over in the corner battling McDonald. As he'll throw it to the circle, taken back by Utah as Jamison will bounce it off the boards. Jamison will get it back and he'll throw it to Nilsson on the far side. Nilsson will fake it to Jamison now. He'll start skating north-south. They'll drop it off for McDonald. Connor will skate towards his left. 8:38 and counting left in the first. Idaho leads 1-0. As over in the corner, Jamison back to McDonald, who skates around Minor's net. McDonald will throw it to Bartley on the left side. Victor at center ice will nudge it in as Brady chases after it, as does Matt Register. Register throws it to Zane Franklin. Franklin will get it ahead to Miller. Miller, wearing number 26, will get it to Franklin. Franklin along the right wing boards, tries to center it. Never did get anywhere but the nearest circle where it's taken by Cutler. Brandon dumps it in. He got hit pretty good by Franklin. Brady was in that area as well. Utah makes a line change as Register will skate north-south, still in his own zone. He'll nudge it ahead to Miller. Miller crosses center ice and dumps it into the left corner as it rolls around the boards. Martin falls down. Idaho And Domowski gets pushed along the boards by Cam Strong. Those guys were teammates in South Carolina last year. Utah takes it away. Pfizer will dump it from one blue line to the other, tries to chase after it, and Barta will nudge it ahead. Puck ends up in the spectator, or in the Idaho bench. Jake Kupski will throw it back on the ice, and the draw is going to be near the Idaho, or it's going to be near the Idaho bench.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That is one of the best sequences of the weekend for the Utah Grizzlies. I love that Raby-Pfizer combination. And you put Cam right out there as well. That's a really athletic, really fast line. They did a great job forechecking there for your Utah Grizzlies. That is really refreshing to see that level of aggression from the club after struggling so much.
Utah wins the draw. Cole Tarchi gets to Thomas on the left side. Thomas will dump it in. He's got great size at about 6'5" and 210. He was at Idaho in training camp. He was with the Steelheads 8 games last season at the end of his college career. As Bardo back at his goal line, he'll skate around his net, and he'll be chased by Walker. Now the Steelheads nudge it ahead as Kanadi will feed it to the right side for Becker across the center ice. Becker dumps it in. He collides with Penner as Miner will feed it along the near wall. And puck ends up staying in the corner, hitting a stanchion, taking a strange bounce, kind of a Utah hop, if you will. And Idaho, they get those strange bounces as well in their home games as Ducharme gets around Penner along the right side. Ducharme over in the corner. He gets hit pretty good as Idaho tries to feed it out in front. Now Ducharme with a shot, and that gets blocked. Now left side shot. That one goes wide, taken by Kanadi. Bardo gets it poked away by Penner. Another Steelhead gets it, but the Steelheads backing out into their own zone. Utah makes a line change, 6:49 and counting left in the first. Idaho leads 1-0. Steelhead skate in. Kanadi over to the left side, skates around the net. Kanadi now on the right side, and so feed it up top for Hedrick. Hedrick with a wrist shot, saved by Miner. Rebound goes out to the left side. It's taken by Ducharme, who's double teamed. Good nudge by Cameron Strong to get it out to center ice. Sekos back to right. He'll feed it over to Nelson. Nelson with a shot, saved by Poirier. And the rebound goes to Idaho.
A penalty. This should be on the Idaho Steelheads. We'll see here. Or no.
Slashing's the call. It looks like one of the linesmen's going to go skate towards the Steelhead, and it's Colton Keller.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, you really, and that was a nasty, nasty slash right there on Andrew Nielsen.
Nielsen checking his wrist to make sure it's okay.
Yeah, Nielsen was driving to the net with a bouncing puck right down the middle, and Colton Keller just took a two-handed whack at it, it looked like. A nice job by Zach Sekos to let the, oh yeah, boy, Colton Keller with a two-handed slash over the top on Andrew Nielsen. That's an easy penalty to call.
He did what he had to do because Nielsen was in front of him looking for a shot right down the middle, and Nielsen's a guy who can be a pretty good goal scorer for a defenseman. And so he did what he had to do. Probably a good penalty from the Idaho perspective. As for the first time tonight, the Grizzlies going to be on the power play. Utah 18.3% on the power play. Idaho's penalty kill this season, 40 for 42 at 95.2%, as Colton Keller is in the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions, so you can rest and relax. Idaho wins the draw, though, bouncing off the near boards. Now got cut off by Utah as Nelson will throw it to the near goal line for Wright. Wright gets to Sekos, who's along the near wall. Sekos up top for Nielsen, who's got 8 power play points this season, all of them assists. Over to Sekos. I try to feed it out in front. It goes through the legs of Wright into the corner. Pfizer over to Cutler. Cutler back towards Pfizer, but Register anticipated the play and cut it off and picked it off, and he'll throw it out to neutral ice where it's taken by Nielsen. Nielsen fanned on the pass, but end up gliding towards Wright. Back to Cutler down to Wright. He'll take a shot. And a blocker saved by Poirier, and the puck goes flying out of play with 5:48 left in the first.
Yeah, and this is one of those moments in this game. Early in the game, you're in the first period, 5:48 to go. Idaho leads 1-0. These Powerade power plays are opportunities for the Utah Grizzlies to really take advantage. They've done a really good job there. It was really smart by Andrew Nielsen to kind of back out, catch that puck, and it leads to a Cam Wright shot. He hits Poirier right in that blocker on the right-hand side, but an excellent grade A opportunity.
Same 5 on the ice for the Grizzlies as Utah wins the draw. Pfizer on the right side up top for Nielsen. Nielsen over to Sekos. He's along the near wall. Back to the left point for Nielsen, who will skate towards his right, get it to Pfizer. Right side shot, and it goes wide. Sekos skates towards the near goal line. Outside by Wright, and he backhands a shot, saved by Poirier. Boy, the referee was on the other side. He didn't see that Poirier didn't have it covered up and blew the whistle. Grizzlies think the whistle blew prematurely.
Oh, it did. I think Remy Poirier tried to play that puck. It sat there and no whistle was blown because if you don't know, in hockey, the official cannot blow the whistle until, and there it is sitting right there. He can't blow the whistle until he sees that Poirier has that. And you were exactly right, Tyson. It just squirted out from under the blocker hand of Poirier, and Cam Wright did a great job.
But the referee was on the other side of the net.
Yeah.
He thought that Poirier had covered it up.
That's exactly right. So he couldn't see. Boy, what a break for the Steelheads.
Draw one by Utah. We get a whistle. Looks like we'll take the face-off over again. Now Bardo pushes Cameron Wright. Cameron Wright's one of those guys that he will get under the skin of the opposition. And because of that, you see a lot of guys every now and then go after Cameron Wright.
Yeah, you do.
Wright on one knee will get back to his feet. Andrew Nilsson wants a penalty on Idaho, which would give Utah a 5-on-3. We got a minute.
And it should be.
We got a minute 8 left in the Colton Keller minor penalty. 2 minutes for slashing.
They're trying to decide here if that was a hand pass by the Grizzlies. If it's a hand pass, the draw comes out outside the zone. They're going to say it was not a hand pass, so that draw will stay just to the right hand of Remy Poirier, the Idaho goaltender.
Sekos will take the face off. He's got Cutler to his left and Wright to his right. Pfizer and Nilsson up top. As draw one by Utah, Cutler will get it to Nilsson, over to Sekos, back to Nilsson. He skates towards his right, and he'll throw it to Pfizer. Right side, he'll take a shot. Saved by Poirier. Rebound goes back to Pfizer. He's in the right corner. Now he skates around the net. He got poked away by Kudla. And Jade Miller battling in the corner right in the area. Bardo pushing right along the wall. As Pfizer over to Sekos, now up top for Nilsson. Across to Cutler. Brandon skates towards the circle. He takes a shot. Saved by Poirier. Grizzlies with a rebound, but Wright couldn't get a shot off. Cutler skates around the net. He'll skate towards his right. Now he's in the left circle. Cutler now in the corner, and he feeds it out in front to Wright, but all getting a stick in the way is Jade Miller. They've done that all game long of the Steelheads, just being in the right place with their stick. Now Bardo around the net, skates towards the right side, and he'll sail it down the other way.
Boy, you really would like to see Brandon Cutler, and now behind the net, Cutler
and Jade Miller.
Jade Miller.
Jade Miller doesn't have a helmet on, and he'll have to skate off the ice. Music for some reason plays.
Matt Register over there making sure that Cutler goes as well.
Grizzlies re-enter the zone right side. Martin around the boards. There's 2 sticks laying over behind Idaho's net and a helmet, and that's Jade Miller's helmet. As Idaho gets it, Ty Pelton-Bice will skate it out to neutralize himself. 2-on-4 across the center. He'll dump it off the end wall as Keller is out of the penalty box. Idaho's penalty kill once again does their job. They are almost 96% as of right now. As Martin crosses center ice, he'll get it in. Raby along the near wall battling with Brady. There's Brady, Misiak over there as well. Puck squirts towards Fitz. He skates towards his right over to Walker. Walker signing pass. Martin with a shot that goes wide. And the puck ends up along the near wall. Bartley keeps it as he was battling with Bice. Bartley now gets taken away by Register. It goes along the near side. Misiak will nudge it to Register. Register gets hit by Walker. Puck rolls back to the far side. Brady will bounce it off the wall. Idaho, A.J. White skates along the left side. I think a lefty shot and goes wide. He trying to go glove side on Minor. Puck rolls along the near wing boards. Register back in his own zone. We've got multiple sticks laying on the ice. Pass up ahead to Svanenberg. He'll skate to the right side. Take a shot and goes wide. Once again, trying to go glove side on Minor. Puck ends up with Thomas. He'll skate around his net. Pass ahead to the right side. Ducharme picks it off. Ducharme skates towards the corner. Tries to drop it off to the circle. Nobody was home but Keaton Jamison. He plays for Utah across center ice. Jamison skates in. Left side, I tried to center it over to Strong. Now Jamison with a shot. He scores! Keaton Jamison found some loose change out in front. And he gets his first of the season and second as a pro. And with 3:13 left in the first period, we're tied at 1.
Well, I can tell you right now, Victor Bartley won't get an assist, but he deserves one. Sold his body out after a bad line change by the Utah Grizzlies. Led to an odd man rush. Victor Bartley slid in front, causing a wide shot, and then what a play by Keaton Jamison. And Cam Strong and Keaton Jamison roofs it over the glove of Remy Poirier. And how about that, folks? The Utah Grizzlies have a goal, something that has been in short supply over this series. It's 1-1 with 3:13 to go in the first period.
Jamison with his first goal of the season, and Cam Strong with his second assist of the year. As Idaho will throw it out to center ice. Bartley will nudge it ahead, but it goes back towards Canati. Nick Canati at neutral ice will dump it in onto Minor. Minor will cover up as Wade Murphy was chasing after him. 2:57 left here in the first period. Grizzlies and Steelheads are tied at 1. The draw is going to be in the Grizzlies zone.
Just an incredible moment for the Utah Grizzlies because they have really had to work to get goals and get opportunities, and now there's a little confusion. There indeed is a timeout on the ice, and they will see, will they keep going? No, they are going to keep going here.
The referee says, take your timeout, and we're going to play on.
That's just bizarre. But, man, Tyson, what a huge moment for Keaton Jamison, who's been much maligned. To get that goal is just massive.
Grizzlies Hockey is brought to you by Utah Operation Lifesaver, C-Trax, Think Train, and by Rio Tinto. There was the commercial right there.
There you go, buddy.
We're back to live out hockey.
You're the best.
Left circle. Becker will throw it around the boards as Domowski in the corner. Mouse in the house, usually what they say in Idaho when he scores the goals. Rolls out to the right point. Bardo with a shot. Bounced off of Martin and goes high off the boards. Pfizer throws it out to center ice where it's taken by Canati. He'll nudge it back into his own end for Darren Bardo. Bardo wearing number 51. Out to center ice for Becker. Becker has a glance off his stick. Raby and Becker were teammates at Michigan for 4 years. Out to Penner. He'll feed it across. It's picked off by Wade Murphy. Now Nick Canati will bounce it off the wall. Domowski trying to clear it out. It got stuck by Penner. And he'll give it to Raby. Over to Wright on the right side. Trying to get around a double team. Wright drops it off. Now it goes back to White. And he'll have it poked away to Secco. Shot saved by Poirier. And he left some loose change out in front. Puck to the right side. McDonald with a shot that goes wide. Secco's out in front to Raby. Centering pass. Shot. Another one goes wide. I think Poirier might have gotten a piece of that on the shot by Wright. Taken back by Nick Canati. 2 minutes and counting left in the first period. Canati will nudge it into the Grizzlies zone. McDonald running after it. And McDonald will get it. As he'll outlet it out to center ice for Cameron Wright. Wright will get it to Secos, who has to get around Jade Miller and couldn't with the puck. Franklin over to Miller. Miller back to Franklin, but the pass is wide and bounces into the right corner. Franklin feeds it from corner to corner, but Utah was able to keep it in the right corner. And Utah gets it with Secos. He'll nudge it across to Wright. Wright crosses center ice, and he'll drive it in as Utah makes a line change. Wright will come off, as does Secos, as the Steelheads throw it out to the near side for Franklin. Franklin will feed a cross-ice pass to the left. It connects with Miller. Miller skates in, takes a shot just outside the left circle that goes wide. Puck ends up with Utah as Jamison, the goal scorer, his first of the season, second as a pro, skates towards his right and dumps into the offensive zone. Robinson with a tough angled shot, kick saved by Poirier. Now Bartley over to Fitz. Now to Bartley, he'll take a shot that's blocked by Franklin. Franklin, the former Allen American and Reading Royal, throws it across. Left side, Jade Miller fanned on clearing it in. Now he does. He dumps it deep into the Grizzlies zone. Miner cuts it off. Fitz along the near wall. They'll get it over to Bartley. As Keller and Fitz collide. Bartley with the puck. He'll skate north-south. 45 seconds left in the first. They'll throw it out to Penner. Glance off the stick of Brady. And over to Matt Register in the near corner. He'll throw it over to Ducharme. Now to Pelton Bice. Back to Ducharme. He'll throw it to Keller at center ice. It glances off his skate. Keller regathers it. He'll skate in left side. Shot saved by Miner. Rebound. Keller is looking to get it. And Pfizer cut in front of him and took the puck away. Pfizer over to the right side. Passes too far for Penner to get. Now goes to Pelton Bice near the Idaho bench. To Domowski. He'll step over the blue line. Domowski over to Bice. It bounces off of his stick. Corey Thomas over there. And we got a penalty with 14.4 seconds left in the first. As Thomas was in the area, and it looks like it's going to be a hook, and it's going to be Brandon Cutler, who was nearby Thomas. Thomas didn't do anything, but Cutler did. 2 minutes for hooking. 14.4 seconds left here in the first.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because as we talk about all the time on the broadcast, you have got to close periods strong, and there's just no doubt this is a hook on Cutler. Like, I mean, he's got the stick blade in the hands without question, and it's a penalty. And now you're going to kill the last 14 seconds of this period, and then you're going to be, 2 minutes and 45 seconds or 1 minute and 45 seconds worth of a kill to start the second period. It's just less than ideal.
Draws in the left circle. Utah's outshot Idaho 11-9. Grizzlies will clear it out. That should just about be all she wrote for the first period as Idaho skates around the net. Darren Brady skates down the middle, crosses center ice, he'll dump it onto Miner. Trent will make a pad save, and that'll do it for 20 minutes here at Maverik Center. As Jonas Vandenberg scored 29 seconds in, Ducharme and A.J. White picked up the assist, and Keaton Jamison tied it up 16-47 with Cam Strong and Corey Thomas getting his first point in a Grizzlies uniform. Idaho took the first 5 shots of the game, and Utah outshot the Steelheads 11-4 since then. Utah is 0 for 1 in the power play. Idaho starts out the first power play for them. Last 15 seconds of the first period, they'll be on demand advantage. First minute 46 of the second period. And we've got ourselves a pretty fun hockey game, and because both teams had Saturday off, a lot more energy than you normally see in a 3-on-3, but this being a 3-game and 4-day set.
Well, we'll find out. I mean, I think that was a huge moment in time for Keaton Jamison. I know he's been maligned, and I know he's somewhat of a guy, Tyson, that this team really needs that physical energy guy, and Keaton Jamison may well be that guy. And if he is, that would be an absolute huge win. Hey, don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll have all the highlights for you on the YouTube side. You'll be able to see everything that happened, the 2 goals, obviously, as well. Guy Carenza is going to have a scoring update for you around the ECHL, and we'll have key stats with Guy as well. After one period of play, we're all tied up at the Maverik Center, 1-1. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverik, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverik's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Welcome back to the Maverik Center. After one period, it is 1-1. We are tied, and boy, how about that, Tyson? Finally, here we are at the Maverik Center with the opportunity to see the Utah Grizzlies score a goal and be tied. It's been that rough of a home series with the Idaho Steelheads. Let's show you the Keaton Jamison goal that tied us up at 1. It was just tremendous hustle. Look how fast the Grizzlies get through that neutral zone, and look where Keaton Jamison goes. He goes into that area where goal scorers live and die. He's able to get a loose puck, pop it into the top corner of the net right there, Tyson. And Jake showed that to us one more time. I just want you to watch Keaton Jamison here screaming down the near side. Just watch how once he gives out the puck, look at that drift right into the front of the net, the goal mouth. What do you know? The puck says, hello, Keaton. He pounds it into the top shelf on the far side, and we're tied at 1. It's those little plays, Tyson, and I feel like this Grizzlies team just have not made over the last 2 games.
Well, Keaton Jamison's birthday was on Friday. He was probably hoping that was going to come on his birthday. It's one of those puck was in the left side, bounced off the stick of Cam Strong, and bounced off of Poirier. And the one thing that Poirier's done here in the first period, he's allowed a lot of loose change out in front. Yeah. And the puck just ended up bouncing to Keaton Jamison. Well, Jamison kind of made the play by skating over there. It wasn't like he was just out in front. He had to skate over there, got to the puck, and found some room up top, and that tied the game. And it's certainly good for Jamison and for Cam Strong. You put those guys on the ice at the same time. I mean, I know that Strong's a guy that had a pretty productive year last season with Reading and South Carolina. He's done some physical things here this season, but it's nice to see those things translate to the scoring sheet.
Oh, yeah.
Here in the first period.
Because he's such an important guy, and we talk so much about energy, and Jake, you can go ahead and roll those highlights, but you talk so much about energy, and you just look at what, they're able to do, and you look at how these goals are scored. That's energy. That's getting through the neutral zone. All those things we talked about that are just so important. But you look at this play here by Idaho. The thing that really stands out to you is that's a great pass across. There's nothing Trent Miner's doing about that goal. When you're able to make a hard hockey pass across, the net is basically open for him, and that to me is the biggest difference, and that's what the difference has been in this series. Idaho's just moved more quickly, but you look at some of these, the forechecking here, creating opportunities, that's effort, that's energy, that's what Ryan Kanasowicz has talked so much about, are getting in and getting into their heads. But you look here, you're behind your own net here, right? And they wind up coming off that wall, making a huge, offensive opportunity. Great save by Trent Miner, but it's that energy. Look at Andrew Nielsen streaming through the middle of the ice. He gets hacked. That leads to a power play. Those are big moments, and all of these offensive opportunities mean, as Guy Carenza is going to tell you here in about 60 seconds or so, all these opportunities mean that the Utah Grizzlies have the lead on the shot board. And Tyson's talked about it 1,000 times, it feels like, during this series, as you see the Keegan goal again. This Idaho Steelheads team will outshoot you almost as well as they get off the bus. It's like what they do naturally, Tyson. So to see that the Grizzlies have an 11-10 shot lead here, I think that's a big, big deal.
Idaho doesn't allow many shots. I mean, last season they allowed about 25, maybe 26 shots per game. And so, as I was talking with Coach Kanasowicz, it's one of those things that even though, the score obviously was what it was the last two games, if you look at the scoring chances the last two games, they're pretty close to even.
Yeah.
It just meant that Idaho was burying their scoring chances and the Grizzlies really weren't, and it was good to get that scoring chance out in front and convert on that.
Yeah, and I think one of the things we've seen, I thought Remy Poirier was actually pretty darn good. Now, his rebound control wasn't great, but he made some grade A saves there, as did Trent Miner. There's no question about that. But I think what you're also seeing is Andrew Nielsen's presence back in the lineup is a big, big deal for the Utah Grizzlies. They need that depth on the blue line, and it just means that you're able to expand your offerings as a head coach in Ryan Kanasowicz. You're not so limited back there, and that's just such a big deal. Frankly, against a team like Idaho, and I don't know what you think, this is clearly the best team that we've seen this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know that it's arguable or if it's close. Even if we just go defensemen, I think Matt Register has had a really good series against the Grizzlies here in Salt Lake here at the Maverik Center. I think he's played exceptionally well for Idaho.
Well, there was two opportunities there where if he's not standing in the right place to pick off something, then the Grizzlies get an amazing scoring chance. There was one there where Raby was out in front and Register just happened to cut right in front of him. If he wouldn't have been there, Raby would have had a golden opportunity to score. And that's why Matt Register has got over a decade of professional experience. That's why when his career's over, he's going to get some looks for the Hall of Fame in this league. And it's really for all Idaho defensemen, it just seems like they've been sound at being in the right place at the right time. That's really, it's tough to generate scoring chances when you get to the neutral zone and then you even get it to the offense zone, but then Idaho gets a stick in the way.
Yeah.
It's a lot of deflections and interceptions with Idaho this week, and that's partly why they're such a good defensive team.
Yep, absolutely right. 1-1 after one on the Siegfried and Jensen intermission report. Don't go anywhere. Guy Carenza is going to join us. He'll update you on the ECHL scoreboard as well. I have some critical stats from the first period. But again, I say it almost with a sense of relief. 1-1. The Steelheads and the Grizzlies are tied. Guy Carenza's stats and scores next on the Siegfried and Jensen intermission report.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Welcome back to the Maverik Center. Oh, hi, Guy. Sorry to step on you. Welcome back to the Maverik Center. 1-1 is your score in the Siegfried and Jensen intermission report as the Grizzlies and the Idaho Steelheads close it out with Guy Carenza, Tim Montemayor, Tyson Whiting, as we take you through some Sunday afternoon hockey. Guy Carenza, what do you got for us on the stat sheet? What are some numbers that stand out for you?
Well, Monty, after an evenly played first period, the Steelheads and the Grizzlies are knotted up at 1. Each team had a chance on the power play. Idaho is currently in the middle of a power play. They will have 1 minute and 46 seconds left on that to start the second period, but it was a pretty even slate. Each team has a chance on the power play. Utah went 0 for 1. Scoring chances knotted up at 5 apiece. Idaho leads 9-7 in the face-off category. That's the biggest lead they had in any category here. As the shots on goal, Utah leads by 1, 11-10. 2 power play shots for Utah, 1 so far for the Steelheads. No shorthanded shots. Hits are 8-9 in favor of the Steelheads, and giveaways are also 4 apiece. Interesting stats to note for the Grizzlies. The goal scorer, Keaton Jamison, has 2 shots on goal to lead the team, tied with Cameron Wright, who also leads the Grizzlies in team shots for the season. He had 46 coming into this game. Idaho's Brady has 2 shots for them in this game so far. As we'll take you to some scores around the ECHL, as we have a pretty busy day for the Mountain Division. The Rapid City Rush lead the Tulsa Oilers 2-0. That game being played in Oklahoma. The Kansas City Mavericks are down to the Wichita Thunder 2-1. That game is in Kansas. And as I mentioned before, the game here in Utah is knotted up at 1. A pretty even game, and you think that favors the Grizzlies so far, as they've had a few rough outings. So good omens to come for the Grizzlies here in the second period.
Yeah, and give me that face-off stat again, because I think it's really critical when you talk about face-offs. Guy, and you were saying 9-7 on the face-offs?
Yeah, 9-7 in favor of the Steelheads.
Yeah, that's a big stat right there, Guy. Appreciate that. Guy Carenza will join us in the second intermission as well. As you look at the dance cam on that beautiful scoreboard hanging above center ice. Again, folks, if you have not been out to the Maverik Center to see Utah Grizzlies hockey, the arena looks completely different. And Tyson, I'm going to need your help here. I need an assist. Who do the Utah Grizzlies play next weekend? As Tyson talks to one of the off-ice officials. Tyson, you must pronounce the name. Who do the Grizzlies play next weekend here at Maverik Center?
According to the Google Translate I saw, it was the Trois-Rivieres Lions. That's what they say.
The who?
The Trois-Rivieres Lions. The first time ever that the Grizzlies will play them. They're in their second year as a franchise. They're from Quebec.
That's awesome. And I think one of the things you're going to see is, by the way, Monday and Tuesday, the Salt Lake City Stars tip off here at Maverik Center. So tomorrow and Tuesday, you're going to see the Stars taking on the Santa Cruz Warriors, and James Wiseman is with that team. Make sure that you get to the Stars website or the MaverickCenter.com to get tickets to that. But next weekend, you're also going to see, and we'll turn the camera here for you so that you can get a look at it. Down at the other end, you're going to notice those big video boards. You see the big black bar there. Those are all video boards. Those are now hung, and they will be wired and ready to rock and roll by all accounts next weekend, Tyson, as we bring it back live here to Maverik Center with about 5 minutes to go before we start the second period. Excuse my shoddy camera work there, Tyson. But let's talk about a couple of things real quick. What do you expect to see out of the Grizzlies in the second period?
Well, we pretty much have a deadlock. It's going to be important the first minute 46 to kill off that penalty, as Idaho has been pretty good on the power play. They've got some good scores, so you got to kill off the penalty. And, the second period's really happened to the Grizzlies' advantage, but this week it seems like Idaho's had the advantage there. And you want to make sure you got a lead going into the third period, because Idaho in the third periods this season have outscored their opponents 22-6.
Yes.
So you want to make sure you got a lead after 2 periods to give yourself a good chance here in the third. Otherwise, I've liked what I've seen. Both teams are pretty good defensively, and so goals are going to be at a premium. And I kind of like what Keaton Jamison just did. It really was it was a puck out in front. It wasn't necessarily a planned shot. It just ended up there. Grizzlies, if they continue to do that, I think will be just fine.
Yeah, as you look on YouTube, you're seeing the highlights of that Idaho goal again. You've got to clean those little things up. And this power play, this penalty kill is something the Grizzlies take a lot of pride in. I can tell you that right now. They work on it every single day in practice. So I would expect them to come out with a big penalty kill here and continue to get grade A opportunities, because I think if you can put more rubber on to the Idaho net, there's just no doubt that Remy Poirier is giving up rebounds today. You got to get those, what Ryan Kanasowicz calls second shot opportunities. Give yourself the opportunity to score and get those rebounds and pound it home, because really that's how you're going to knock off these Idaho Steelheads, who I don't think from what I've seen in this division, I think the Idaho Steelheads are easily the most improved team, but they are clearly the class of this division today. Now, granted, we're not even at Thanksgiving yet, but I don't think there's any doubt that they are the class of this division. When you come back, this guy right here, Tyson Whiting, the voice of the voice of the Utah Grizzlies.
If I were the voice of the Idaho Steelheads, I'd be broadcaster of the year last year, so I'd be okay with that.
That's right. You'll get it this year. We'll be back. Second period action straight ahead. This has been the Siegfried and Jensen Intermission Report. You're listening to Utah Grizzlies Hockey.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Both teams hit the ice. We'll have second period action here shortly. Grizzlies wearing a white jersey tonight with black numbers and professional green trim. Idaho wearing a blue jersey with white numbers, white lettering, black pants, a little bit of black mixed in, blue and black and white socks. As the last of a three-game set, the Trois-Rivieres Lions will be here in town this upcoming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I know my brother and my sister are excited about that. They like seeing some of the new opponents coming into town. I do know that former Rapid City Rush forward Cedric Momini is one of the best forwards for the Lions. We'll keep an eye on him. The Grizzlies faced him quite a bit over the last few years. And don't forget that Saturday, November 26th, the second annual Pride Night presented by FedEx. Friday and Saturday will start at 7:10. Sunday will be at 3:10. And both teams are just about ready to start the period. I think Cam Wright did some really good things in that first frame. Zach Sekos. Remember, the Grizzlies are going to be shorthanded as Brandon Cutler, who would be on this line right now, but he's in the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell as he's serving a hooking minor. Bartley and McDonald are out there defensively, and watch out for Andrew Nilsson. You know, he was a question mark coming into play. You know, he was a game-time decision. You can warm up with 18. He took warm-ups, and it was good to see that he's in there for Utah. And watch out for him, especially if the Grizzlies get back on the power play. Both teams, you know, this is Idaho's first power play. Utah had one power play, and even though the Grizzlies didn't score on that power play, they got a lot of offensive zone time. And I think that offensive zone time led to the Grizzlies getting momentum that led to the goal. 16:47.
No doubt. No, you're exactly right. I don't think there's any question. This is a huge kill with all the action. Period 2 tied at 1 between the Grizzlies and the Idaho Steelheads on a Sunday afternoon at Maverik Center. He is the voice of the Utah Grizzlies, Tyson Whiting.
Thanks, Monty. We got the two number 17s at center ice. Zach Sekos and Ty Pelton-Bice taking the draw. Colin Kleinendorf, the linesman, drops the puck. Faceoffs won by Utah. They're skating from left to right here in the second period. McDonald will tried to sail it in and stayed there as it bounced off of Keller. Now another Grizzly gets it, and Cameron Wright will clear it all the way out. Patrick Cudler has it behind his goal line. Cudler wearing number 47. He's been a star in each of the first two games of this series. He's got 14 points, which leads all league defensemen. Ryan Domowski's got a goal in 7 of 12 games this season. Got 10 overall. Spinning along the wall, and it goes all the way out deep into the Steelhead zone as it slides along the far wing boards. Cudler gets it back wearing number 47. And he'll start the attack by skating north-south. He'll feed it over to the right side for Keller. He crosses center ice. Keller's got he's got a lot of quickness. Quick first step. as Hedrick will skate towards his left. He's at neutral ice now. Step over the blue line. Gets it back to Domowski, right side. He takes a shot and deflected off the stick of Bartley. Now Pelton Bice gets hit by Bartley. He'll nudge it across, looking for McDonald, who couldn't break his stick free. Now Keller gets it poked away by Wright. Good job by Cameron. And Zach Sekos tried to clear it out. Kudla kept it in the left side. Kudla's got good size and a long stick. Hedrick feeds it to the left circle for Keller. Back up top for Kudla. Now to Hedrick on the right side. He'll throw it to Domowski. Shot! Saved by Minor. Rebound goes off the near boards. Kudla over to Hedrick. Back to Domowski. Domowski on the right side will get it to Bice. Bice throws to Kudla. Left side will take a lefty shot.
Oh, boy.
It looked like McDonald blocked it. He's down. We'll see if he gets back up. Now Hedrick, one-timer, he scores!
Oh, what a terrible break for the Grizzlies. That shot hits. It looked like it hit Connor McDonald right on the back of the left knee. And I can tell you, Connor McDonald takes a lot of pride in blocking shots. Oh, he is going to wear that one for a good long time. And oh yeah, it hit him right in the back of that, where your knee bends in the back. What would that be, your knee pit, I guess? Hits him right there, and then it just goes right to the Steelheads, who are able to revolve the puck around the zone to get an open shot. It's 2-1 Idaho, 18:31 to go in the second.
And Idaho knew that McDonald was down on two knees, and so because of that, they knew there was one less skater out there, so they worked the puck around, found the open guy, and Owen Hedrick put it away, 129, and it was a power play goal. Bryson Domowski with the assist. Vandenbergs will fly it into Minor, who gloves it, and tried to outlet it, but didn't get past didn't get out of the zone. Now it's Bryson Martin that gets it along the end wall. Back to Cutler. Cutler gets hit. Vandenbergs to the right side, throws to White. White looks to center, to bounced off of Nielsen. Pfizer will bounce it off the far boards. Cutler, I tried to lift it out, but it bounced off of Vandenbergs, who rolls it along the wall. Martin over to the right point. White couldn't get there. Pfizer skates out to neutral ice. He gets cut off by Register. Now it's Penner. Penner skates to the right circle, take a shot. He goes wide. Oh, he didn't miss by much. As Nielsen over to Penner. He tried to get it to Pfizer, but it hit off the stick, stayed in the corner. Pfizer skates over there. He'll skate towards the left point. He'll take a righty wrist shot. That gets blocked about 5 feet in front of Poirier. Hit off of Penner, who's being challenged by Brady. Penner looks to center, hits the side of the net, and hit a little bit of Poirier. On to Matt Register, who'll throw it to the left side for Murphy. Murphy crosses center and rolls it around the boards. And it's taken back. All Utah tried to get it, but turnover. Backhand shot goes wide. Thomas battling with Becker in the corner. Goes back to Idaho, now back to Becker. Becker along the near side. Will spin it back around. Murphy gets cut off, hit off a Jameson's stick. Jameson gets it. Now Misiak takes it away. Jameson continues to battle. He gets stripped up, no call. As Murphy all does centering pass shot, that goes wide. Bardo hit the side of the net. Great pass by Murphy, though. As Fitz crosses center ice left wing, he dumps it in. Misiak and Robinson. Robinson pushes Misiak along the boards, but Misiak is able to keep his feet. Now ahead to Murphy, over to Becker. Murphy gets it back, and he'll throw it to Misiak at center ice. Misiak to the right side will skate in, and he'll dump it in. And I'm not going to say that he was the cousin of Ryan Misiak, because I've said that over and over again, but Ryan Misiak is one of my favorite Grizzlies over the last handful of years. Fits at center ice, dumps it in. Cutler gets the puck, and he'll throw it ahead for Miller. Miller gets hit at neutral ice by Martin, but Miller is able to nudge it ahead deep into the Grizzlies zone. Nilsson will feed it across to Sekos. Sekos rink-wide pass. Did Raby get a piece of it? No, says the linesman Colin Klein endorse, and icing is called on Utah. With 16:21 left in the second.
Let's take a look on YouTube at that goal by the Idaho Steelheads, and just watch Connor McDonald in front of the net here is going to get drilled on the back of the knee trying to block this shot, and that just leaves a wide open opportunity. And what you see there is that shot eventually finds its way home right there. Ooh, it hits Connor McDonald. That hurts so much. They quickly rotate it, and it is in the net. 2-1 Idaho.
Grizzlies win the face-off, cross center ice and dump it in as the draw was in Utah's zone. It's Cutler over to Vandenbergs, now to Jade Miller. Still had skate from right to left. Out to center ice for Hedrick. He'll skate to the right circle, take a righty shot, and he goes wide. He tried to go low on Trent. Vandenbergs will lift it over the head of Kolatarchi as it goes behind the net, as Miller being challenged by Nielsen. Now Franklin gets hit behind Utah's net and gets divorced in the puck. Taken by Kolatarchi, he'll throw it to the left side. Raby crosses center with the puck. He'll try to get it to Sekos, but didn't have a passing angle, so he'll just roll it along the wall. Keller along the left side for Miller across the center ice. Miller gains the line, throws it to Hedrick. Hedrick with a shot, saved by Minor. Rebound. Grizzlies cleared out. Good job by Kolatarchi out in front, clearing it out. As it goes back to Matt Register in his own zone. He'll feed it to center ice for Keller. Grizzlies make a line change. Keller over to Bice. He'll bounce it off the end wall. And rolls towards the right corner. Steelheads nudge it back to the left side. Victor Bartley gathers it, and now he'll give it to Sekos behind the net. He'll feed it towards Cam Strong. Strong had a first period assist. He gets hit by Keller. Puck rolls back towards Sekos, and he'll chip it to Victor Bartley. Bartley in the slot, skates towards the far corner. He'll drop it off for Minor to the side of his net. He'll throw it around his net for Thomas in the corner. Thomas being challenged by Domowski. Domowski poked it away from Thomas.
Wow.
Now ahead to register, left point shot and goes wide. A.J. White tried to redirect it. He did that a few times as a Grizzly back in the 2020-21 season. And Strong will fire it across to Thomas. Thomas nudges ahead to center ice for Walker. Back to Strong. Strong trying to get around Register, but Register took the puck away. Now it goes to Walker. He'll step over the line. Walker escapes towards the right circle, takes a shot. Saved by Poirier. Rebound goes out to the far boards. Left wing, Strong. Throws up top for Martin. One-timer. That bounced off a body and goes just wide towards the end wall. Utah gets it back up top for Martin. Left point. He'll roll it around. It hits off the boards. Rolls towards the right wing. As Penner couldn't handle it in the corners, it bounced over his stick. Register will skeet towards the far side. Now around his net. 14-10 and counting left in the second period. Idaho leads 2-1 as Owen Hedrick scored a power play goal, 1:29 into the second. As A.J. White gets back checked but keeps the puck. White is a strong player. Puck rolls towards Nilsson. He'll get out to Pfizer. It glanced off his skate. Pfizer nudges ahead looking for Penner, but he couldn't reach it. Now in the Steelhead zone, Idaho will carry it out to center ice. Ducharme loses the puck before he crossed the offensive line. Across to Kolatarchi, now to center ice for Penner. Now to Pfizer. Pfizer gets it poked away by Brady. Now Pfizer chases towards the near wall to get it. Brady in the corner gets hit by Cutler. Idaho behind their own net gets the puck, and they're going to skate from right to left as Jade Miller will skate down the middle. Now feed it to the left wing for Brady. Brady crosses center ice. Wade Murphy's nearby. Kolatarchi hacking away. Puck ends up squirting towards the Idaho blue line. Register with a right wing pass to Ducharme. Ducharme to Miller. Right side. Tried to center it out in front to Murphy. Shot goes wide. As Murphy on the right side throws it up top to Bardo. Now to Canati, who somehow was able to keep it in. Rolls it along the wall. Miller on two knees gets back to his feet. Chases after it. Miller glances off Kolatarchi. Now Ducharme with good speed gets knocked down. Play goes on as good check by Zach Sekos. Sekos will skate towards the near corner to get it. Sekos will nudge it out to center ice for Raby. Back to Sekos. They'll cross center ice now. Step over the offensive line left point. Sekos centering pass goes wide as he was trying to find Raby cutting in front. Now McDonald with a shot that gets blocked. And remember, McDonald blocked that shot on the penalty kill, and he's back in there. Bardo back in his own zone. He'll skate behind the net as both teams spread the ice. Idaho 13 shots, Utah 12. Not many of them here so far in the second period. As Bardo, as Becker cutting towards his left, fans start to make some noise. They want to see some action. As Steelheads get it ahead to Misiak. Misiak on the right side gets it poked away by Thomas. Svanenberg's kept it in the offensive zone, bouncing it off of Thomas. Thomas will throw it back to the center ice, where Svanenbergs will lift it into the left corner as it bounces off the Chartway sign. As McDonald behind or out in front of Minor will feed it to the left side for Thomas. His pass will bounce off the stick. Domowski on the left side. He'll take a shot. Saved by Minor. Trent holds on without a rebound with 11:56 left here in the second period as we got a timeout on the ice. Idaho leads 2-1 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Mountain Land Supply Company.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
11:56 left in the second period. Idaho leads 2-1. It was a very smart play once McDonald blocked the shot over near the net. When Idaho was on the power play, they knew that there's one less guy there that can defensively make an impact, so they skated around, made 2 or 3 passes, and were able to get it head to Hedrick. for the one-timer, and that was just a smart play by Idaho, knowing the numbers, knowing, with McDonald out, it turns into a 5-on-3 essentially until McDonald was able to get back to his feet. As Idaho wins the draw, left point, and puck ends up squirting towards the net, kicking off of Nilsson's skate. Keller around the net. Domowski and McDonald collide. Near corner, Idaho gets double-teamed. Bice feeds it out in front. Pass picked off by Cutler as nobody was home for Idaho. Cutler to Pfizer, bounces off of Pfizer into the Steelhead zone. Now Jamison right side, take a shot, and it goes wide. And the puck ends up squirting along the far wall out to center ice. Nilsson back into his own zone. Gets it across to McDonald. Connor along the right wing, crosses center ice, and he'll dump it in. And rolls towards Poirier, who nudges across back to the corner. Cutler gets it, now to Martin. Shot, saved by Poirier. Got a little bit of Poirier stick and nudge to the right side. Now Cutler. Right circle, skates along the wall. Now he's at the right point. He'll feed it to Martin. Left side, trying to feather it out in front to Pfizer. Bounced off the Steelhead and goes out to center ice. Cutler will come off the ice. And now it's Bryson Martin who will throw it to the right side for Pfizer. Pfizer gets pushed by Kudla. Kudla takes the puck. He'll skate back into his own zone as Idaho leads 2-1. Less than 11 minutes left in the second period. As Hedrick will throw it ahead. He dumped it in from Steelhead's territory, and so it's icing with 10:44 left in the second.
Oh, and you just see some of the little things creeping back in as Idaho has been able to take a lot more momentum in this period. But this is a big opportunity here. We talked in the pregame show that, listen, you got to win faceoffs. You've got to win faceoffs. And Zach Sekos, we had a package in the pregame about how good he's been on the draw. Let's see if he could do another one here.
Sekos will take the face-off against A.J. White. And the draw won by Utah as Raby throws to the corner for Wright. Wright skates along the goal line, and he gets poked away. It looked like Wright was getting held up a little bit, but the officials are going to let them play today. Ducharme along the near side. We'll throw it out to Keller at center ice. Keller will skate in. He'll nudge it deep into the corner. And it was kind of a light nudge as A.J. White skates to the corner and gets the puck. He gets hit by Martin. Martin kicks it out to Sekos, who will get it out to center ice. Bouncing puck goes past Brady. Darren Brady will skate back into his own zone to get it. Brady now behind Poirier. As we're about halfway through the scheduled 60 minutes of play, Jonas Vandenberg scored 29 seconds in, and then Keaton Jamison scored 16:47 into the first period. Idaho retook the lead on a power play goal, 1:29 into the second. That's Owen Hedrick, who got his third of the year. As Idaho crosses center ice, Miller will gain the offensive line and nudge it to the left corner. McDonald and Miller collide, and McDonald went flying, but he's back to his feet. Now Keaton Jamison will nudge it out to center. Jamison's played a good game. Register ahead. Pass goes wide, and Cam Strong gets it. Elo trying to get it to Johnny Walker, but Johnny couldn't reach it. As Miller over towards Mesiak. McDonald with a big hit on Miller. Miller trips up McDonald, and the official didn't spot it as he was looking at the corner. Franklin over to Brady, who swings and misses. Now over to Miller. Miller trying to get it to Franklin. Cut off by Nilsson. Back to Brady in the corner. Brady gets hit by Nilsson. Puck ends up with Franklin. It bounces off of him and goes to Walker. Walker will carry it out to center ice, and he'll drive it in as Idaho got back defensively. It was a 2-on-3. As Poirier tried to turn it over in the crease, but right there was Becker to nudge it to Register. Clears it from blue line to blue line. Taken by Thomas, over to Colatarchi. Colatarchi checking things out. Second year with the Grizzlies. Over to Thomas in his second game with the Grizzlies. Over to Penner, who dumps it in. Poirier rolls it around the boards. Colatarchi with a shot that goes wide. Maybe more of a pass to just get around the boards. Penner around the boards, back to the right side. It's Colatarchi and Becker. Colatarchi with a big-time hit on Becker. Register gets hit by Penner. Puck ends up on the far side. Idaho out towards center ice. Vandenberg's in the area. And where's the puck? And it looks like it's out of play into the bench as Everett Sheen gets the puck, and he's going to find a fan to throw it to over in the front row.
Nice job.
Behind the Steelheads bench.
Nice job by Thomas getting his skate against that board. That doesn't allow them to dump that puck all the way in. So instead of an offensive zone face-off, for the Idaho Steelheads, it'll be on the dot in the neutral zone, which is a significant difference. Interesting to see what line comes out here. It's Pfizer and Penner with Brandon Cutler, who I believe is going to be on the wing there. Yep, and Pens will take the draw.
Drosner, Idaho's bench. On a Sunday afternoon. Draw won by Idaho. They've won the first two games of this series. Utah trying to salvage the third as Pfizer skates along the right side over to the circle, gets spun around by Wade Murphy, and the official spotted it. The official is letting him play tonight, but he couldn't let that one go as Wade Murphy's going to go to the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell Holding is officially the call, and Wade Murphy will be in the box. Second power play for the Grizzlies upcoming.
And that is a really good job by Taryn Fizer there. Fizer has to use that speed. And boy, did he. Got down that right wing very quickly, drove to the net. You have to look to score, and I know that sounds crazy, but there just is sometimes this passive aggressiveness, and with Fizer getting to the circle and driving to the net, it creates an opportunity for Murphy to have to hook him, and that's exactly what happened. I think that's a great play by Taryn Fizer.
Time of penalty, 11:36 into the second period. 2 minutes for holding. Wade Murphy is in the box. Penalty minutes 5 and 6 for him on the season. Draw one by Utah's Cutler will throw it out to the left point for Martin. Or make that Nielsen. Now to Fizer, back up top for Nielsen. Nielsen over to the right side. Seconds, one-timer, and it bounces off of Brady and goes to the corner. As Brady skates along the near wall with Cutler nearby. Both teams hacking away. Brady holding his ground. And Whiting standing nearby. Puck still along the boards. It squirts out to Sekos. He'll feed it across to Nielsen. Andrew the lefty shot. Glove saved by Poirier. But the puck is still in play. There's a bunch of bodies in the crease, and the official blew the whistle. Nielsen shot a changeup out there. I think Poirier was expecting a little bit more steam, but Nielsen fired a changeup. That handcuffed Poirier a little bit, but it's still 2-1 Idaho.
Excellent job there by Andrew Nielsen, not panicking. And it's one of the things we've seen the Utah Grizzlies really work on is that poise. Be poised in the moment, and Andrew waited. And I don't think Poirier had any idea. The official can't blow the whistle until he's absolutely sure or loses sight of the puck, and it's just sitting in the blue paint. Good job by Spandenberg to get on that puck, and that's a really risky move by Spandenberg, because if a skater covers that puck in the crease not wearing goal pads, that is a penalty. So a good job by Spandenberg to back up Poirier.
Same 5 on the ice for the Grizzlies. Cutler's kicked out of the face-off circle. Sekos will take the draw. 1:27 left in the Grizzlies power play as Wade Murphy's in the box. Idaho on the penalty kill this season, up to date, 41 of 43. Draw one by Idaho as Patrick Cudlip will bounce it off of Fizer. It's at neutral ice. Becker chasing after it, but Nielsen will nudge it back to Fizer along the near boards. Center ice pass to Cutler at the logo. Looking for Cam Wright. Now goes back to Cutler, who steps over the line on the left side. Cutler in the corner will throw it up top for Nielsen. Back to Sekos. Sekos feeds it across to Fizer. Takes a shot on, just missed.
Hit the post right off the crossbar.
Sekos over to right, looking back for Nielsen. Nielsen wasn't where Wright thought he was. And puck ends up back at neutral ice. Nielsen will back it out into the Grizzlies zone. He'll give it to Fizer. As Fizer crosses center ice in the right wing, will throw it to Cutler. Cutler on the left. As he's just outside the circle, over to Nielsen. Back to Sekos on the right side. Sekos in the circle, will throw it up top for Nielsen. Nielsen fakes a shot, throws to Fizer. Shot saved by Poirier. Rebound out in front. Idaho gets it, and Becker clears it out.
Boy, Cam Wright took the brunt of that blow right there. Much better power play setup here, Tyson. I think on this power play, the Grizzlies have been quite dangerous.
Grizzlies make a line change, so do the Steelheads. Bartley will throw a right wing pass to Martin. He crosses center ice. Martin gets around Keller, skates in, takes a shot, and he scores! What a move by Bryson Martin, skating along the right side. Got to the circle, and it was one-on-one between him and Poirier. And Bryson Martin gets his first of the year. And with 6:39 left in the second, it's a power play goal for Utah. Only the third allowed by Idaho this year. We're tied at 2.
What a move by Bryson Martin. He got aggressive. And I don't think the Idaho Steelheads respected the fact that Bryson Martin is actually a very highly skilled offensive defenseman. He made a great move on Colton Keller, tucked it into the far post. What a finish by Bryson Martin. And I can tell you right now, folks, there are very few Grizzlies who needed an opportunity more than Bryson Martin. And boy, did he cash on that. And all of a sudden, with 6:39 to go in the second period, we're tied at 2.
Martin's best year as a pro was with Maine in the 2018-2019 season, where he had 7 goals. He had 4 goals in 39 games with Indy last season. Grizzlies cross center ice and dumping in, so we're back to 5-on-5 skating. Tied at 2. Spandenberg's are thrown out to center ice, taken by Victor Bartley. Bartley will throw it out to neutral ice for Robinson. It goes between his legs, back into the Grizzlies zone, where it's taken by Martin. It's Martin over to Jamison. Now to Bartley at neutral ice, across to Martin, who bounces off his stick, and that has to feel good for Bryson Martin to get on the board this year. As A.J. White will throw it back to center ice where it's taken by Fitz, who spins himself around. Now he locates it at center ice, and he'll dump it in. As Poirier gets it on one hop as Fitz dumped it towards the Idaho goaltender. Register with an outlet pass. It hits off two sticks and goes into the Grizzlies zone. As Utah chasing after it, Pfizer lifts it over the head of Register. And Pfizer will run it down. Right side, he'll take a shot, kind of fanned on it. Brady was nearby him. As Cutler in the corner, throws it towards Penner, who gets tripped up. No call. Officials are going to let him play if they can today. As Franklin skates into the right side, now he's to the circle. Centers it to Brady, who literally kicks it towards Minor. Trent makes the save, and a good job by Corey Thomas and Tyler Penner to protect Minor and not let Idaho get in front.
Boy, what a moment for Bryson Martin right there. Man, that feels good. We're tied at 2, Tyson, and I think that might be one of the biggest goals early in this season.
Big game here as Idaho's looking for the sweep. We'll be back in 1 minute. We're tied at 2 with 5:31 left in the second period. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Bryson Martin ties the game 13-22 into the second period. The assist went to Victor Bartley, and get this, Trent Minor gets his second assist of the season.
Tyson on YouTube, let's take a look at that goal right here, because watch the way that Bryson Martin, look at this right here, move in and then watch him tuck it home on that far post on Remy Poirier. Again, watch the acceleration. Right there, he's gone. And all of a sudden, we're tied at 2. That is just a massive, massive goal for the Utah Grizzlies, because Tyson, Idaho's had a tendency to run away in these games.
As in the Grizzlies zone, Zach Sekos will take it against Jade Miller. And Miller's kicked out of the face-off circle. Colin Kleinendorf says, get another guy in here, and Zane Franklin will take the draw. Franklin this season has 2 goals and 5 assists in 11 games. This is game 12 for him. He played a little bit with Reading, was acquired by Idaho a few weeks ago. Utah wins the draw, skates around the net. Cameron Wright will lift it over the head of Kanadi. Grizzlies skating over there is Dakota Raby, but Bardo gets there first. Cameron Wright kept it in, or at least he thought he did. Colin Kleinendorf says the Grizzlies are offside with 5:16 left in the second.
Yeah, just a bit of a hiccup there, an extra move. He tried to toe drag, caused a delay. Those offsides, folks, if you don't know, the puck has to be the first thing over the line. If your body goes over the line before the puck or another player goes in before the puck, that's called offside. The draw comes outside the zone.
Miller and Sekos will take the draw again. We're tied at 2. Shots have been pretty even. 16 for Idaho, 15 for Utah. As Utah wins the draw, Raby over to Bartley at neutral ice. Bartley avoids a check of Franklin and dumps it in. Kanadi will bounce it off of Wright. Puck still along the right wing boards. And Sekos battling, so is Wright. Puck sports towards the right point. Martin across to Bartley. Bartley will take a shot. Got redirected and bounces over towards the end wall. As Wright gets double teamed, he'll pitch it out to the left corner for Sekos. Sekos looking for Raby. It bounces off of Raby. Skate and goes to Misiak. Misiak wearing number 19 dumps it in from center ice. He played his college hockey at Michigan Tech. As Bartley over to Martin. They'll feed it across off the boards. Demowski skates over there. He wins the foot race with Sekos. Gets around a skater. Demowski with a shot that goes wide, but great move creating his own shot as he got around 2 Grizzlies. Franklin the left side trying to get it to Pelton Bicep. Bounced over his stick, and Utah will carry it out to center ice. Cameron Strong tries to split a double team in the right side.
That's a penalty.
All right, Strong earns a penalty, skating right in there among 2 Steelheads.
That's a cross check, and what is it again, Tyson? Here we're seeing, like the Bryson Martin goal, and then now you're getting Cam Strong being aggressive to the net, and Franklin's going to go have a seat for 2 minutes. And it's Utah forwards being aggressive to the net. You're going to see, Cam Strong is going to drive between. He's going to split some Steelheads. Oh, yeah. He takes a 2-handed cross check to the right shoulder. That's an easy call for the officials, and we're back on the Powerade power play. Tied at 2, 4:19 to go in the second period.
Franklin led the Allen Americans in penalty minutes in the 2020-21 season with 125. Fitz will take the face-off. Walker to his right, Raby to his left. Up top is Nilsson and Martin. As the draw won by Idaho, they skate around the net. Darren Brady will clear it out. Miner will skate deep into the far corner to get it. Remember, the Miner can't get into the restricted area there. There's a couple times last season where a Grizzly player got a penalty for it. As Martin crosses center ice, gets it off to Nilsson. Nilsson skates down the middle, gets around to Steelhead. Nilsson with a nice move to the right side, take a shot. Saved by Poirier. I'm surprised Idaho let Nilsson just walk right down the middle and get a shot. Nilsson to the right side, over to Fitz. Back up top for Martin, who's got a goal tonight. Over to Nilsson. They'll feed it to the right corner for Raby, showing good hands, collecting it. Martin over to Nilsson. Nilsson to the left circle for Walker. Back up top for Nilsson. Andrew back to Walker. Watch out for him. They'll throw it back to Nilsson. Nilsson over to Walker. Walker on the left side, trying to feather it out in front. Idaho picked it off, and Spanenberg clears it out.
Boy, you got to get that puck to the net. I want Johnny Walker to shoot that puck. He's such a talented offensive player. Use some of that ASU forks up juju and get the puck to the net.
Halfway through the power play, Bartley will drop it off for Sekos. The Grizzlies made a line change, so did Idaho. Pfizer over to the right side. Pfizer spins it along the wall. Sekos up top for Bartley. Bartley back to Sekos. Sekos to Cutler. He's in the left corner. Cutler at the goal line, throws up top for Sekos. Across to Pfizer on the right side. Pfizer fakes a shot, throws to Sekos. Sekos over to Bartley. He takes a shot. Saved by Poirier. Rebound goes to Bardo. Couldn't clear it out as he rolled along the far wall, and Sekos kept it in. Pfizer on the right side over to Cutler out in front of the net. Bounced off of Cutler's stick. He regathers it and throws it to Pfizer in the right corner. Now to right, over to Bartley. Across to Sekos. Left side takes a shot that goes wide. Less than 15 seconds left in the power play. Pfizer over in the left corner. Being challenged by Becker. Throws it up top for Bartley. Now Wright gets it. As Wright with a righty shot, and that gets blocked. And Idaho will bounce it off of Bartley, and it goes out to center ice. Franklin's out of the penalty box. As Idaho's penalty kill 2 for 3. Oh, long-range pass to Franklin connects. Franklin's got a breakaway. Franklin with a backhand shot. Saved by Miner. Smart play by Franklin. Did not go anywhere, but stand at the blue line, and they hit him with a pass, and he had a breakaway. As it goes out to center ice, Brady dumps it in. He gets hit by Wright. Taken by Utah. They'll throw it ahead to Sekos. Sekos will have a bounce off his stick. Colton Keller gets it neutralized. He'll throw it back to Register. Less than 2 minutes are left here in the second period. We're tied at 2. Both teams have 1 goal in the first, both with 1 in the second. Register's looking for Ty Pelton-Bice. No icing on the play. Behind Utah's net is Thomas. And he gets poked away by Pelton-Bice, trying to feed Keller out in front. It goes wide. Now Register will bounce it off a Grizzly. And Corey Thomas will nudge it ahead to Neil Robinson. Robinson crosses center. Gains the line, stops the right point, gets to Jamison. It bounces off him and goes to the end wall. Jamison gets knocked down. Register gets it. He'll toss it. Oh, he couldn't get it out of the zone. McDonald kept it in. Connor with a righty shot that goes wide. Bounces off the Maverik sign behind the Idaho net. Now Domowski crosses center ice. 3-on-3. Domowski with a shot. Glove saved by Miner. That shot was taken outside the Idaho blue line, offensive blue line. It was in neutral ice. Draw's going to be in the Grizzly zone as Miner collected it. Trent's had a pretty good game tonight, stopping 15 of 17.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, this has been a much better middle frame for the Grizzlies, and just the way they've moved the puck, in the way that Victor Bartley has brought that veteran experience and poise. Victor's made several really key plays, I think, tonight. We talked about it on the first goal for the Grizzlies.
Draws in the left circle. White and Sekos will take it, and it's Grizzlies Sekos that wins it as McDonald will throw it to Sekos as the Grizzlies skate from right to left. Right and the right wing will dump it towards the corner. Sekos back to right. He takes a shot that goes wide. Puck rolls along the far boards. Martin's able to keep it in the left point. He'll throw it to Raby. Raby centering pass shot goes wide as Wright couldn't get it all of it as he had a Steelhead hanging by his shoulder. Puck goes back to center ice. McDonald will pitch it ahead, taken by Wright, who skates towards the Grizzlies bench, and he'll drive it to Poirier. Poirier will make a block save, and he'll throw it to Kudla. Kudla with a long-range pass, and Spanenberg's going to reach it, and it's going to be icing on the Steelheads with 34.5 seconds left here in the second.
And you got to like the way the Grizzlies are closing this period. I mean, this is the difference. Remember, at the end of the first period, the Grizzlies took a penalty. Now you're going to have an offensive zone draw with 34.5 seconds to go in the period. You're tied at 2. By the way, both teams have 17 shots. Guy Carenza will have stats for you in the second intermission, but both teams have 17 shots. Tyson, this has been a very even period.
Draws in the right circle, taken by Penner. He wins it. Cutler over to Bartley. Bartley along the right wing takes a shot. It bounces off of Penner's stick and deflects off the the end glass. Cutler will give it over to Hedrick. Hedrick scored a power play goal a minute and a half into the second period. He'll bounce it off the glass. It goes over the head of Bartley and deep into the Grizzlies zone. And icing once again is on Idaho with 18 seconds left in the second.
Are you surprised? Like, these last two icings, Tyson, have just been unnecessary in my opinion. Like, I'm a little surprised, and it could be fatigue, I don't know, but I'm a little surprised to see Idaho consistently giving opportunities to Utah.
Well, a lot of hands on knees from the Idaho side here late in the second period. As fatigue probably setting in, as both teams have given a pretty good effort in this weekend, but Idaho particularly has given an outstanding effort, and it's possible fatigue setting in. Although they do play in altitude, as the Grizzlies back in their own zone will dump it in themselves. And Utah's call for icing with 9.2 seconds left in the second.
Well, you don't love that very much. Now you're going to have a defensive zone draw here with 9.2 seconds to go. And these guys have been on the ice now a minute. Cutler, Pfizer, Bartley's out there as well with Tyler Penner in the middle and Brandon Cutler on the outside.
Make sure to follow the Grizzlies on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm on Twitter at Tyson on Sports. Draw won by Utah is Pfizer. Does he have enough time? He'll cross center ice and dump it in. 4 seconds left, chasing after it's Cutler. Take a shot, saved by Poirier. Puck ends up back in the corner, and time runs out on both clubs. But both teams had one goal in the first period. Idaho took a 2-1 lead as Owen Hedrick scored 129 in on a one-timer from the right side. The Grizzlies retied the game 13-21 as Bryson Martin got his first of the year, with the assist going to Victor Bartley, which was his second, and it was also the second assist for goaltender Trent Miner. He's played a good game, stopping 15 of 17. Remy Poirier on the Idaho side to stop 16 of 18. When we come back, we'll have second intermission coverage. Once again, the score after 2 periods. It's the Idaho Steelheads 2 and the Utah Grizzlies 2. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverik, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverik's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Welcome back to Utah Grizzlies hockey, the Siegfried and Jensen intermission report. We're tied at 2 after 2 here at the Maverik Center on a Sunday afternoon. And boy, Maybe we should play every Sunday here at the Maverik Center, because coming up in about 5 minutes, you're going to see these highlights. But, Jake, give me the Bryson Martin goal, because I think this is one of those goals that is quintessential Utah Grizzlies hockey. Playing with speed, playing with aggressiveness, and you're going to see that Bryson Martin just gets aggressive. And the thing that I can't say enough is that Bryson's a guy that is immensely talented when it comes to the offensive end. As a defenseman, what you're going to see is that he is going to step on the gas. That's the penalty that Taryn Fizer drew. But again, that's just aggression by Taryn Fizer to get that penalty draw. That's really important. As you look at some of these highlights, just note how little hesitation there is for the Utah Grizzlies in scoring goals. That's something, Tyson, that I think we've lacked. And you look at these highlights, and you just begin to see that the Grizzlies, if they're aggressive and they play fast, that's exactly what Ryan Kanasowicz wants to see, because good things happen.
It seemed like a north-south game that the Grizzlies were playing in the second period. Not a lot of jackpotting around with east-west passes. Just get it north-south, and I think that's probably Cam Strong's strength, and we've seen him play a good game because he's playing north-south. I think fatigue's really setting into the Idaho side, because otherwise I don't think they would have let Bryson Martin just walk into the right side and get whatever look he wanted. And he was able to get a look and sneak it past Remy Poirier. And then there was another occasion where it looked like Andrew Nilsson was just walking down the middle of the ice and was able to get a good chance off of that. So, even though both teams did have yesterday off, you're talking about Friday and Saturday putting together a lot of effort. Sunday, a little bit of fatigue setting in years past. With the Grizzlies practicing in altitude, quite frankly, Idaho does as well in Boise. But, think about the Grizzlies and what's been one of the big strengths over the last couple of years. And that's been Sunday afternoons here at Maverik Center with games that are either a 3-game and 3-day set or a 3-game and 4-day set. I think the Grizzlies might be a fresher team here in the third period, and that could end up deciding this game.
Well, it's funny, Ryan Kanasowicz told us before the game, that there is always conversations about, okay, do we want this at 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock? Today he said it's at 3 o'clock, and I would have rather had it at 1 o'clock. We're ready to play right now. Our guys are ready to go. And I think that's a really important factor because, again, coming into this game, you have just come off of two of the worst games, probably of the Ryan Kanasowicz era. I don't think there's any doubt about that. So today it was really important to come out here and play with pride. And the thing that I think is so interesting is that you fell behind in this game and you never quit. You never gave up. You fought back. You got to 1-1. You fell behind 2-1. You never quit. You never quit. You came back and you got to 2-2, Tyson. And I think that's because what you're seeing is this club is playing with pride.
Yeah, and I knew, we were able to see that in the first half of Friday night's game as well. And no team ever wants to get swept, and no team certainly don't want to get swept at home.
Yeah.
You lose the first two games here at Maverik Center against a good Idaho team, and you come out with a lot of pride here the first two periods. Trent Miner's looked good. He's made some stops. There was one really smart play Idaho made right after Franklin came out of the penalty box. He stationed himself right at the blue line. Idaho was able to identify him, and Franklin was able to get a breakaway, and Trent Miner closed the door. He made the save when he needed to, and that's what we saw from Trent Miner at times last season, particularly in the games where he was at his best. There'd be times where you'd have breakaways, you'd have golden opportunities, those grade A chances, and Trent Miner, it seemed like time and time again, would close the door. He would single-handedly win some games for Utah last season, and we're seeing him at times, when there's been those good opportunities and guys got these scoring chances that he'll tell us here soon. Those scoring chances, Trent Miner's closed the door on him, and that Franklin chance probably was as good a look as Idaho had that didn't score in the second period.
Well, I also think it's rebound control, and I think one of the things we're seeing, Remy Poirier for Idaho is a fantastic goaltender. There's no doubt about that. But what you're seeing is a little bit less rebound control out of Remy Poirier, giving the Utah Grizzlies those vital second chance opportunities. When we come back, we'll look at that Bryson Martin goal again. Guy Carenza will join us here in just a bit with all the critical stats. We'll update you on the Mountain Division scoreboard here in the ECHL as well. But this is the Sigfrid Jensen Intermission Report. It is 2-2 after 2 at the Maverik Center. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. and I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Welcome back to the Maverik Center on a Sunday afternoon of hockey. This is a Siegfried and Jensen intermission report. 2-2, the Steelheads and the Grizzlies are tied at 2. I want to show you this Bryson Martin goal again. Look at how aggressive he is. Right there, he hits the gas, tucks it under the right pad of Remy Poirier. And folks, I cannot stress this enough, that Bryson Martin's a guy that plays with tremendous pride. I've had a lot of opportunity to talk to him. That is a very big moment for Bryson Martin. There's no doubt about that, Tyson, because he knows that this team, especially with the injuries on the blue line, I don't think there's any doubt that Bryson Martin knows he needs to contribute.
He's got a former third-round pick by Buffalo, and when we talked with him at Media Day, he was, I think, the most interesting interview by far because he has been through the journey. You know, a guy that I think he was saying that he was the only defenseman that was drafted by the Sabres when he was drafted a handful of years ago, and he's faced some adversity in his career, but he's also had some years where he's really contributed. He played really well with Iowa, with the Indy last year. A couple years ago, he had 7 goals for Maine. He's a guy that can put the puck in the back of the net. And I know that Bryson Martin, is determined to play his best hockey of the season. I think we have seen Bryson Martin's best hockey this year. He's a guy that's got some size. He moves around pretty well, and he makes really smart decisions with the puck. So I think Bryson Martin is really starting to come into his own here.
Yeah, and on YouTube, you're looking at a highlight package, and you see a lot of number 44. Here's that Martin goal again, but you see a lot of 44. I think Andrew Nielsen's been very good tonight, and I think having him back on that blue line, it does a couple of things, and I think a couple of things that are really important. It brings a physical nature to the blue line for the Utah Grizzlies, and dare I say, and I don't want to go too far with it, but dare I say, the Idaho Steelheads have taken some physical advantage of the Utah Grizzlies. I think we saw a hit the other night along the bench. Keaton Jamison absolutely got crushed by Matt Register. In those situations, we saw the first 2 games that played out routinely. Today, that hasn't been the case. This has been a game about speed. This has been a game about skill. And Tyson, I think that's why we're tied at 2, because that's the kind of hockey that Ryan Kanasowicz wants to play.
And he does need to improve the size, which is why I think why he went out and got Corey Thomas. You got Andrew Nielsen there. It's about 6'4", and the Grizzlies have added some size. I mean, after all, Bryson Martin and Connor McDonald are not small guys, and so that size, especially against teams that know. And last season and even this season, I've been talking with other broadcasters on the other side. Face the Grizzlies. First thing they always mention is the Grizzlies' speed. It was happened time and time again last year, and even this year, Cam McGuire was talking about the Grizzlies' speed, and so. Well, how do you combat that? Well, teams got to play Utah physical, knowing that the Grizzlies have that speed, especially when you get in open ice. And so you saw it when the Grizzlies played Allen, where Allen wanted to do everything they could to slow down Utah and not let them get any sort of odd man rush or really any sort of momentum into the offensive zone. They wanted to negate Utah's speed. I think Kansas City wanted to do the same. And Idaho, they've got a lot of speed themselves. They're a faster team than they were last year, but they know the way to combat Utah's speed is with just good old-fashioned physical play. Yeah, and I think we saw that, and a good thing we haven't seen it tonight. Okay, don't go anywhere here on the Siegfried and Jensen Intermission Report. Guy Carenza is going to join us in about 60 seconds. He's got some really critical stats for you. The hit numbers in this game and the face-off numbers in this game are telling a real big story. We'll hear about the stats in the ECHL scoreboard next. After 2 periods, we are tied at 2. Sunday hockey right here on the Utah Grizzlies Broadcasting Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Welcome back to the Siegfried and Jensen Intermission Report live at Maverik Center. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey, tied at 2 after 2 on a Sunday afternoon, and a pretty good Sunday afternoon crowd here at the Mav as you get a look at that beautiful new center-hung scoreboard. And again, I remind you that Tyson, where are you, man? I need the bailout. Who's coming in next weekend?
The Trois-Rivieres Lions.
Thank you very much.
First time ever. And because of that, my family is interested because they like seeing those opponents that we don't normally see twice a year. And so they're interested in coming to this series. I know that a lot of fans are interested in seeing what the Lions look like. They're a new franchise. They got a really nice looking logo. It's their second year of existence. They're from Quebec and should be a fun series.
The Trois-Rivieres Lions from Quebec are coming into the Maverik Center next weekend. You'll get a look at a lot more visuals. Get your tickets right now at utahgrizzlies.com. All right, without further ado, let's get Guy Carenza in here. Guy, what do the biggest stats of the period look like to you?
Well, Monty, it's tied 2-2, but the Grizzlies are starting to break away in some statistical categories in this game. But most importantly, they are 1 for 3 on the power play, and that's significant because the Idaho Steelheads coming into this game had the league's best penalty kill, 95.2%, and the Grizzlies were able to solve it. They had 3 shots on the power play in the second period. They lead that category 5-3. Idaho is 1 for 1 on the power play as they capitalized earlier in the period. Scoring chances are tied 4-4. Utah has broken away in the faceoff category, winning 11 of 5 in the period. They're now 18-14 overall in the game. Shots on goal are 18-17 in favor of the Grizzlies. That is significant because Idaho takes the third most shots for per game in the league, and the Grizzlies are finding a way to slow them down and keep up with the speedy Steelheads. No shorthanded shots, and 7 apiece on goal on 5-on-5 in the period. Hits are 12-5 for your big-bodied Utah Grizzlies. Giveaways 4 apiece. Some scores around the league as we have 6 Mountain Division teams playing today. The Rapid City Rush are in Tulsa to take on the Oilers, and they lead 3-1 heading into the third period. The Wichita Thunder and the Kansas City Mavericks are underway in Kansas City. Third period is midway through, about 2 minutes in. Kansas City leads 3-2. And of course, back here at the Maverik Center, we are tied at 2. But Monty, Tyson, Grizzlies are playing well in this game, and that sets the stage for a big third period.
Yeah, and don't go anywhere. Thanks so much, Guy Carenza. He'll join us in the postgame as well. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next, it is the third period, 2-2 after 2. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverik, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverik's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Welcome back to the Maverik Center on a Sunday afternoon as we have Utah Grizzlies hockey right here on Flow Sports and YouTube. What a game we have, 2-2 after 2 in a game that is of critical importance to your Utah Grizzlies as they have lost the first 2 of this series. They're looking to stay connected to the Idaho Steelheads in the Mountain Division standings. I'd remind you that in 2 weekends from now, the Grizzlies will actually be up in Boise to take on the Steelheads, so this game has extra added importance. It's really a 4-game swing as far as standing points go. And Tyson, I'll tell you, I have just been so impressed with the stick-to-itiveness of this Utah Grizzlies team. There is no quit in them whatsoever.
And it's going to take that to get 2 standings points tonight against Idaho. And when you look at Andrew Nilsson, it was a game-time decision coming into play tonight. He gives it a go, and he's out there to start the 3rd period along with Connor McDonald. But really, the Grizzlies know that they don't want to get swept here at home against their division rivals. And most of the time when the Grizzlies face the Steelheads, it's a game just like this. It's very evenly played. Shots are pretty close to even. Utah's got an 18-17 edge. And it's anybody's game heading into the 3rd period. Idaho wins the faceoff. Steelheads have outscored their opponents 22-6 in the 3rd periods this season. Connor McDonald gets it back in the Grizzlies zone. Utah is skating from right to left here in the 3rd period as Nilsson throws it towards Cutler. He's battling along the wall with Darren Brady. Puck bounced off of Brady's skate. Nilsson skates in and dumps it in from center ice. Register, the former Allen American and Colorado Eagle. He won 2 Kelly Cups with Colorado back when they were in this league. Right wing pass to Charm. He'll skate towards the circle, being challenged by Nilsson, who's got 6 years of AHL experience. Nilsson loses his stick, and he trips up Ducharme. It's going to be a penalty. Delayed call. Utah touches it up. And 36 seconds into the 3rd period, hooking's the call as Andrew Nilsson goes to the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. And Idaho's going to be on the power play with the score tied at 2. Idaho's 1 for 1 on the power play here so far today.
Well, that's not the ideal start that we wanted when we talk about momentum and we talk about, the need to get out to a fast start. You got to win the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes of periods. This is a big moment in time with Taryn Pfizer on the dot.
Draws give me in the left circle. The 2 number 17s, Pelton Weiss for Idaho and Sekos for Utah. Idaho wins the draw. Hedrick, who had a 2nd period power play goal, will get it to Kudla. Across to Domowski, takes a one-timer, goes wide. McDonald has a bounce off a stick. Now Bartley gets it. He'll throw it to right at neutral ice. Right will drive it in, and it hits off a Poirier. Still had skate after it. Utah has yet to score a shorthanded goal this season. They led the league with 20 last year. Rink wide pass connects. Idaho 2-on-2. Over to Domowski. He's on the left side being shadowed by Bartley as Idaho settle into the offensive zone. Domowski across to Kudla off the near wing boards. Kudla skates towards the point, throws it to Keller. Keller with plenty of room, centering pass, shot on that goes wide. If that pass would have connected, or Pelton Bice would have been able to tap it in, there was a chance there. Keller over to Bice along the far goal line. It glanced off his stick. Bice behind the net gets it. He's battling with McDonald. Bice will throw it up top to Owen Hedrick. He'll skate towards his right. Hedrick back to the left circle for Keller. He takes a shot. Saved by Minor. Rebound. Pelton Bice was looking to get it, but McDonald takes it away and clears it out. Good job by Connor McDonald as both teams make a line change.
Boy, look at that. Poirier misplayed the puck out of the trapezoid. It wound up wasting about 10 seconds.
Brady skates down the middle, gets around Strong. He'll throw it to the right corner as Darren Brady rides to the corner with a Grizzly. Utah hacking away. It's Cam Strong. As Vandenberg's over there as well. Now Ducharme will skate around the net. Martin will nudge it ahead to Penner. Penner will throw it out to Cam Strong. Strong gets hit by White, but keeps his feet. Puck rolls towards Poirier. And Cam Strong, once again, I think that's the 2nd time that he's drawn a penalty as he was skating down the middle with the puck.
Yes,
A.J.
sir.
White held him up, didn't let Cam Strong break free, and it was a good penalty because Strong, by the time he got held up by White, was pretty close to Poirier. So A.J. White goes to the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell, and we'll have 30 seconds of a 4-on-4 situation, followed up by a Grizzlies power play.
Great job by Cam Strong. Again, that hustle, that power skating, shorthanded through the neutral zone. A really nice job by Cam Strong to keep his skates, use his feet to draw the penalty. There's just no doubt that that's holding on A.J. White, and A.J. White knows it. I mean, he did what he had to do to preserve a tie game here, but now a Power 8 power play about to pop off at the Mav.
Interesting to see A.J. White clean-shaven. He's usually sporting something, either a mustache or a beard. He had a beard most of the year when he was with the Grizzlies. As he is the Idaho captain. Idaho wins the draw. We're skating 4-on-4. Ice opens up a little bit as Pelton Bice will nudge it in. Martin battling with Bryson there behind Utah's goal line. And now it goes to Utah's Dakota Raby. Will skate along the far wing boards. He gets the center ice as he gets around Domowski. Now Raby enters the zone as he'll skate towards his left. Raby along the boards will nudge it to the corner. Register gets there. He overskates the puck. Grizzlies are back at full strength, and now they're on the power play. Left point, Fitz shot saved by Poirier, and he holds on. Raby was net front. Good job by the Grizzlies in the 4-on-4. Now they got the power play themselves for minute 23. And Andrew Nelson was just on the ice. He's talking with Brandon Cutler. Those two will be out there. Now Brandon Cutler's got 5 points this season, and all 5 of the points have come on the power play. And Nelson's done most of his damage on the power play as well.
That's a good job getting that shot up where it can be deflected. We'll see if Nielsen gets another chance here.
Cutler will take the draw. It's won by Idaho as Bardo will clear it out. He had Pfizer challenging him nearby. Minor to the right of his net. Over on the far side, we'll give it to Nielsen. Andrew wearing number 44, former draft pick of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Will skate to neutral ice. He won a cup with in the Calder Cup with the Toronto Marlies. He'll throw it back to Sekos, but it's deep in the Grizzly zone. Sekos halfway through the power play, although it was an abbreviated one to start. We're 30 seconds into the power play as Pfizer gets it. He skates down the middle, goes to the left side for Sekos. It goes through his legs. Cutler battling along the wall at the Idaho blue line. He falls down, taken by Hedrick. He skates towards the corner of Idaho's zone, being challenged by Wright. And now Cutler skates over there as well. Hedrick holding his ground. He's one of the stronger players on the Idaho team. As Cutler comes out of the pile with the puck, he'll throw it to the left point for Sekos, across to Nielsen. Andrew up top for Sekos. He's got 6 goals this season. Over to Cutler. He skates towards the left circle. Cutler in the corner. He'll throw it up top for Sekos. 20 seconds left in the power play as Nielsen feeds to the right side off the boards. Wright spins it around as Sekos in the left point gets the puck. He'll skate towards the left circle and takes a shot. Stick saved by Poirier. Puck bounces off the backboards. Right out in front, hacks away. Shot saved by Poirier. And Idaho will clear it out.
3 seconds to go on the power play, so it's essentially over. A.J. White is out for Idaho, and both clubs are back at full strength.
Grizzlies skating from right to left. We're tied at 2. Bartley over to Raby. Now to Bryson Martin, who gets around Spanenbergs. He crosses center ice down the middle. And Martin with a shot that goes high off the glass. Dylan Fitz skates around the net. They'll throw it up top for Bartley. Victor in the left point will bounce it off the end wall as Raby skates towards the right corner. Raby over to Martin. He's open. Martin had someone dive in front of him. Takes a backhand shot saved by Poirier. Now Martin and I tried to nudge it in front, and Darren Brady once again got a stick in the way. Puck goes to the corner. Martin will spin it from one corner to the other, and Penner will spin it back to Martin, who's now skated towards the left point, but it goes past his stick and into the Grizzlies zone. Bartley chases after it. Bartley couldn't quite get it. He overskated the puck. And Ducharme with a shot saved by Minor. Boy, Ducharme kind of flexed his stick afterwards. He didn't get much on it as the puck squirted towards the crease, and Ducharme was there trying to go 5-hole on Trent, but the Grizzlies goaltender is able to make the stop about 5 minutes into the third period.
Well, you got to do a better job keeping that puck in the zone, because you're just asking for trouble, especially when you've had consistent offensive production. You really want to make sure, if you're Bryson Martin, you do everything you got to do to keep that puck in. He didn't, and it leads to an offensive zone opportunity. And now a draw for Idaho.
Puck in the right circle in the face-off. Looks like the ice already chewed up quite a bit. And White's pass to Ducharme is a little bit soft, and Ducharme didn't get much on his shot. You got to be decisive with your passes here in the third period. As the draw won by Idaho, Pelton bites with a shot and he scores, and Minor didn't see it till it was too late. As right off the draw, Ty Pelton bites, snipes one past Trent. And with 15:04 left in the third period, it's the Steelheads 3 and the Grizzlies 2.
Yeah, and this is not a mystery how this happened. Not to go back to it, but it's a little mistake where the puck hops over a stick. It's an offensive zone draw. Pelton Bice does a great job of using the screen. Boy, seeing the replay on that, we'll have it for you on YouTube here in just a bit, but seeing the replay on that, Trent Minor's got to stay on that post. It is vital he stay on that near post. Oh, now the Grizzlies have a hole to dig out of. 3-2 with 15 minutes to go.
Minor didn't see it till it was too late because the shot was taken behind Colton Keller as the puck is in the Steelhead zone. As Bartley on the left side at the point will throw it to the left circle for Pfizer. Pfizer tried to drop it off for Cutler, but he was skating towards the corner was Cutler. Pfizer will take it back as he skates towards the right point as he'll wheel it around the boards. Martin skates over there. Cutler nearby. Cutler tried to throw it towards the net and missed on it. Hedrick throws it to center ice where it's retaken by Bartley. And Victor will skate back into his own zone. He'll pass up ahead to glance off the stick of Canati. Canati out towards neutral ice. We'll get it over to Hedrick. The Steelheads have now outscored opponents 23-6 in the third period. And that's why they got a record of 9-2-0-1. As the Steelheads skate from left to right. As they'll feed a left wing pass out to Becker. Becker gets around Cameron Wright. Wright trips him up on the referee spotted it. That's going to be a penalty on Utah. Cameron Wright, 2 minutes for tripping as the Grizzlies touch up the puck. And the official was on the right side, spotted the trip as going down was Idaho's Jack Becker, and Cameron Wright will go to the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. 14:06 left in the third as Wright gets 2 minutes for tripping.
Let's look at that goal by Idaho here on YouTube. If you're watching, you'll see it here. Pelton Bice wins the draw and just pumps it home to the near side. And I think you're right. Colton Keller with a great screen. Miner vacates the near post. It's an easy finish for Pelton Bice. And it's winning this draw. You see it right there. If you're not going to win the draw, you're not going to clear the puck. And now you're on the shorthanded side of it again.
And you're watching on Flow Sports. It was a pretty good call by the official on the trip as puck ends up squirting deep into the Idaho zone. Steelheads on the power play as they're 1 for 2 on the man advantage here so far tonight. As the Steelheads skate from left to right. I guess there's a debate whether a 3 o'clock game's a day game or a night game or a little bit of both. As White dumps it into the corner. McDonald in the area, and the Grizzlies clear it out. Good job by Utah skating over there as Idaho have to go the length of the ice as Utah gets 4 fresh skaters out there. 1:25 left in the Idaho power play. They lead 3-2 with 13.5 minutes left in the third period. As Idaho left wing crosses center ice and rolls it around the boards. Vandenberg's over towards White. He feeds it up top for Brady. He'll get to register back to Brady. Went past his stick and out to center ice. Brady will regather it as he's back in his own zone. And when fatigue starts to set in, it's as much mental fatigue as it is physical. And you just got to make sure to concentrate a little bit more as register over to Hedrick. He'll skate into the slot, left wing. Shot saved by Miner. That shot was taken by Domowski as Hedrick fed it to him in the left wing. Domowski's a dangerous goal scorer, but Trent stopped him there with an even 13 minutes left in the third.
Yeah, and that's a good no rebound by Trent Miner. You really want to have rebound control, and we've seen him do it repeatedly where he'll let that puck hit him in the logo and it'll filter down between the pads. That's a really nice job by Trent Miner not giving up a rebound there.
Draw taken in the left circle. Corey Thomas, the newest Grizzlies out there. Utah wins the draw. Thomas spins it along the wall to the right point. Secco's battling with Hedrick. Pelton Bice trying to keep it in. Taken by McDonald. He'll feed it over towards Thomas, who makes a quick decision to clear it out. Thomas blocked a lot of shots in his college career at Vermont. He was a graduate transfer last season at Canisius College. As Cudlow will throw a right wing pass that goes behind Keller, and that's going to be a rare power play icing. As the draw is going to come back towards the Idaho zone with 29 seconds left in the Steelheads power play as Cameron Wright is right now in the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. 2 minutes for tripping.
And don't forget, when you're on defense, when you're defending the power play, you're a man short. You cannot be called for icing, but if you have the man advantage, you can. So it's a distinct difference from regular play. You cannot get called for icing when you're killing penalties.
Tries in the left circle. It's won by Utah. Bartley with a shot. And that one gets blocked. Right side, Martin feeds it out in front to Strong. But Poirier got a pad in the way. Good effort by Martin and Strong, but Idaho comes back the other way. Hedrick will feed it over to the left side. Now up top for Cudlup. Cudlup back to Domowski, who got an assist on that Pelton Bice goal a few minutes ago. Now the Steelheads skate in. Pelton Bice tries a sneak at 5-4 on Trent. Where's the puck? Everybody's hacking away. Miner's on his keister. Our puck went through the legs of Bice. Miner gets back to his feet.
Doesn't have his stick.
Grizzlies are back at full strength. Left wing shot goes wide by Domowski. Rolls along the near board. Well, the puck ended up staying deep into the Grizzly zone as it hit a stanchion. Cam Strong will throw it out to center ice. And Wright couldn't get a piece of it. No icing, though, as both teams make a line change. Less than 12 minutes left in the third period. Idaho leads 3-2 as the Steelheads will tap it off the near boards. Pfizer was able to poke it away from Franklin. Now Cutler enters his own left side, skates towards a corner with Cutler nearby. Cutler feathers it out in front, right with a shot, and didn't get much on it as the puck flipped in the air. Idaho clears it out to center. Cutler will throw it off the near wing boards for Nilsson. Nilsson battling with Franklin. Nilsson will bounce it off the skate. It goes to Becker. Skates towards the Idaho bench. Now he'll skate north-south across center ice. He got poked away by Pfizer. Taking his Fitz. Fitz skates to the right circle. and off the end wall. Fitz couldn't get a shot or a pass off as it kind of fanned on it. As Pfizer over towards Nielsen, make that Martin. Nielsen tried to feed it out in front, and it passes behind as Fitz and McDonald was over there. Fitz centers it. Idaho picks it off. As the Steelheads will get it to Jack Becker, left wing across the center ice. Now 3-on-4 enters. Left wing, shot goes wide off the glass. Idaho throws it to the corner. And taking it's Franklin. Franklin, who played for Allen 2 years ago, tried to bounce it over to Becker. Fitz picked it off. Fitz will throw it across to Cutler. He'll throw it from blue line to blue line, where it's taken by Canati in the Idaho zone. Fans stop their feet here at Maverik Center as they're trying to carry the Grizzlies here as Idaho leads 3-2. Pass out to center ice. Idaho regathers it. They'll throw it to their bench area with Ducharme. He'll skate back into his own zone. Now he'll skate to his right. Ducharme crosses center ice. He'll scan the line. He'll dump it in with great speed. Ducharme gets hit in the corner by Thomas. Miller gets knocked down by Thomas. Ducharme in the area. Thomas with the puck will throw it across to Martin. About halfway through the third period, Martin will throw it to center ice. The Grizzly that was in the area was Cameron Wright, and he didn't have a stick. Puck in the Idaho zone as Jamison in the area throws it to Robinson. Back to Jamison. He'll throw it up top from Martin, who bounces it towards Robinson as the Steelhead loses their stick. As Jamison gets spun around and loses the puck. Idaho 2-on-2 crosses center ice, and A.J. White dumps it in. Bartley will take the puck as he'll skate around Trent Miner's net. Idaho's won the first 2 games of this series, and they're looking for the sweep. Pass up ahead to Raby. It bounces off his stick and dumped in. As Raby, nice behind the back pass towards Wright. He fires to McDonald, who takes a shot that goes wide. Now Bartley left point, shot saved by Poirier. Bounced off in front, but he's able to cover up. With 9:20 left here in the third, there's a timeout on the ice. Idaho leads 3-2. You're listening to Utah Grizzlies Hockey.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
9:20 left in the third period. Utah's outshot Idaho 25-22. Idaho is 1 for 3 on the power play. Utah is 1 for 4. Steelheads are a strong third period club, and the Grizzlies just trying to keep battling and see if they can find a way to tie this game.
Yeah, 9:20 to go. All of a sudden, you're out of time here. Zach Sekos, probably your best faceoff man's on the dot. See if he can win this right back to Dakota Raby.
Draws in the left circle. Sekos will take it against Pelton Bice. Pelton Bice wins the draw. And Register will spin it along the far boards. It goes all the way deep into the Grizzly zone, and icing is called on the Steelheads. Pelton Bice's goal, 4:56 into the third, is the deciding factor in this game. In each of the first 2 periods, Idaho scored first, and then Utah answered back with one of their own. And so if the trend continues, Utah eventually here late in this third period will tie up the game. And then who knows what happened if we get to overtime.
Zekos on the dot again. Exact same crew, exact same formation.
Draw won by Idaho as Register will bounce it out to neutral ice. He ricochets it off the boards. Bartley gets it back over towards Raby. He'll feed it towards Sekos, but Sekos was skating the other way. Keller collided with Raby. Grizzlies back in their own zone as McDonald over to Raby. One-time tap to Sekos out to center ice. Sekos to the left. Carries it over the line. Sekos backhand shot. Saved by Poirier. And the puck ends up deflecting to the corner. As Wright over to Sekos. One-timer saved by Poirier. Poirier's got an NHL entry-level deal with the Dallas Stars. Wright, left wing, shot, and it deflects off Poirier's stick and goes out of play. 8:40 left in the third. It's still 3-2 Steelheads, but the Grizzlies have been in the offensive zone quite a bit here in the recent going.
Yeah, and that's a great little play by Andrew Nielsen to keep that puck alive. He chopped it back to the middle, and it leads to another opportunity right there. Great job. Then Cam Wright gets it and fires a shot off the blocker up onto the net. Brandon Cutler on the dot to take the draw for the Grizzlies.
Face-offs in the left circle. 8:40s left in the third. Good Sunday crowd here at Maverik Center. As the draw won by Utah's got it on the right side as Pfizer skates towards the point. He'll spin it around. Cutler behind the net gets it. Cutler second year with the Grizzlies. As he'll throw it to Martin, who chases after it. Now around from one corner to the other as it's on the near side. As Penner battling with Becker. Penner's able to keep his feet. He'll throw it to Pfizer. Right, feeds it out in front. It got all the way to Poirier, who just poked it away. Idaho will feed a blue line to blue line pass as Misiak will skate off. Grizzlies will get it to Nilsson in the near corner. He'll feed an outlet pass to Cutler. Got redirected, says Colin Klein and Dorsett. Rolls around to the right corner. Utah centers to Cutler. Brandon couldn't handle it, and Jack Becker comes up with a puck. Out towards Ducharme at center ice left wing. He'll dump it in. Miner behind his net cuts it off. McDonald will pitch it ahead to Strong. Cam Strong's played a good game. He's already got an assist tonight. Gets around a skater. Now he crosses center ice. Strong tries to feed it to the right side for Jamison, but the Grizzlies are offside as Idaho did a good job protecting their blue line.
Well, you'd like to see, again, the guys keep that puck in. On the far side there, these little bounces, especially to your point, partner, about how the Grizzlies have been really good offensively here. Keep that puck in. Give yourself another opportunity, and they just haven't been able to do that.
Jamison will take the face-off. The back of my ear is hurting. This is the first weekend, if you're watching on YouTube. Friday I got glasses. It's the first time I've ever worn glasses was on Friday night.
You look good, man.
I can actually see the ice as the puck is over in the left corner in the Steelhead zone. Canadi's in the area. But the back of my ear hurts from that little thing that goes around the glasses. As puck rolls from one corner to the other. Bartley in the area. And he'll feed it over to Jamison, who avoids a check. Fitz, who's been active here in the third period, will throw it up top to Bartley. Across to McDonald. Connor on the right point. Feathers it in front, and it's picked off by Bardo as it glanced off his skate. Ducharme is able to clear it out. One-on-one foot race with Svanenbergs and Bartley. Bartley gets there. Svanenbergs will poke it back to the right corner. Both guys chase back to the corner. Bartley gets there first, and he'll get it to McDonald. Connor ahead towards Cam Strong, who's got the puck. Strong's got good speed to go along with a strong frame. No pun intended. Over to the corner, fits in the area with Strong. Now Register gets the puck, and he'll throw it to Colton Keller. Keller has a bounce off of McDonald onto Register back behind Idaho's net. He'll feed a hot pass to Brady, who's able to get it. Now ahead to center ice. Pelton Bice gets it. Nilsson was trying to cut him off. Grizzlies wanted icing, but none to be had as Bice apparently had crossed center ice. Keller in the area at his far goal line. Utah pokes it away. Good job by Sekos. He plays a strong two-way game. An underrated defenseman as a forward. Nilsson over to Sekos. Zach, who played his college hockey at Clarkson University, was a teammate of former Grizzlies Josh Dickinson. As Sekos back behind his net, as the Grizzlies start the attack from right to left. Sekos over to right. Right side crosses center ice, and he'll dump it in. Poirier to the side of his net gets it. Over towards Brady as Raby falls down. Now Thomas over to the high slot for Martin. He takes a shot, and that's blocked, and that smarted a little bit on Justin Misiak. As Register in the area. Penner around the net. Penner skates towards the far side. Get it back to Raby behind the net. Raby being shadowed by Brady. And they throw it up top to Martin, but it glanced off his stick, and he goes out to center ice. Martin was able to nudge it over towards Thomas. He'll get it to Penner. Penner dumps it in. Poirier behind his net. 5:40 and counting left in the third. Idaho leads 3-2. As Miller crosses center ice, he'll backhand it off of Pfizer's helmet. He shakes his head, but luckily he's okay. As Cutler over to Pfizer. Those guys were teammates in Victoria in the WHL. Pfizer over to Cutler. Cutler got it poked away by Kudla as Utah has it back at neutral ice. Bartley over to McDonald. Connor backpedals into his own zone. Now feed it across to Bartley. Bartley will throw a blue line pass. It connects. Grizzlies skate in. Jamison shot. Saved by Poirier. Rebound squirts out towards the far wing boards. 2-on-3. Idaho steps over the line. Ducharme skates the left circle. Take a shot. And it goes high off the protective netting and out of play with 5:01 left in the third. There's a timeout on the ice. We'll find out how this one ends when we come back. Once again, the score Idaho 3, Utah 2 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
5:01 is left in the third period. Idaho leads 3-2. The deciding goal right now, 4:56 into the third. Ty Pelton-Bice delivered the goal with the assist to Ryan Domowski. For Pelton-Bice, it was his 5th goal of the season. Draws in the left circle of the Grizzlies zone. Utah's outshot Idaho 29-23 as Utah has won the shot battle here in the third period. Corey Thomas up ahead to Robinson, but it glanced off his stick. Ducharme gets it. Ducharme will bounce it off the near boards. A.J. White at center ice battling with Thomas. Those guys were teammates at the end of last season when Thomas joined the Steelheads out of college. Taken by Idaho, Kanadi will throw it out to the left side. I was trying to deflect it off the stick at center ice for a Steelhead and missed on it, so icing is called with 4:40 left in the third.
Yeah, this is a big moment here. This is a good opportunity to get a draw. And we'll see if Zekos takes it. He's on with Raby. Looks like Cam Wright, Andrew Nielsen, and Bryson Martin out there as well to form the 5 for the Utah Grizzlies. 4:40 to go. 3-2 Idaho.
I wish they kept the time on ice stat because it seems like Zekos has been on the ice the entire game.
Yeah, exactly right.
Kind of like last year when Luke Martin and Charles Edward Nasters. Idaho wins the faceoff, lifts it off the glass. Somehow miraculously was able to stay it in play, and it's going to be icing. That's kind of a risky play for Idaho because that thing sails out of play. That could have been delay of game.
Yeah, if you're in your defensive end and you shoot it over the short glass in your end, does it get to center ice? That is a penalty for delay of game. But no dice. Zach Zekos back on the dot, one of the best face-off men for Ryan Kanasowicz.
Draws game in the left circle. We've had an interesting affair. Idaho's either been in the lead by 1 goal or they've been tied. Idaho wins the face-off, and looks like it's going to be icing again. Idaho had contended that Nilsson hit it with a stick, but the linesmen don't agree, so the face-off's going to come back to the Idaho zone. I will not tell the joke that we're 2 icings away from opening up a bakery. Not going to do that.
Okay.
Not today.
Okay. I mean, you probably should, but that's fine on a Sunday afternoon. 3-2 Idaho with 4:27 to go in the game.
Speaking of bakery, thanks to Jim Williams yesterday for giving me, or Friday night, for giving me nothing but cakes. Proud partner of Grizzlies hockey. Off the draw, Nilsson with a shot saved by Poirier. He holds on. It was good to see Dakota Raby out in front of the net trying to redirect it, but Poirier made the stop. And he's got an NHL entry-level deal with the Dallas Stars. And Poirier is a young goaltender, and it was kind of interesting. He wasn't here Friday. He was called up to the AHL on Friday morning with the Texas Stars, and 2 days later is back here starting on Sunday.
Yeah. Boy, Andrew Nielsen's had a great return to the lineup, the big defenseman, number 44 for the Grizzlies. Very impactful. We'll do the face-off again.
Draw one by Utah. Right shot saved by Poirier. As Pelton-Bice will feed it back to the corner. As Wright skates in, tried to roof it, and lifted it a little bit too high and out of play off the protective netting. Cameron Wright just scores big goals. He's got 3 of them this season. All of them have been game winners.
Yep, and I think this is going to come outside the zone. We'll see. Oh, no, they're going to keep it in. This will stay in the zone. They'll say it was deflected. And guess who? Zach Zekos will take the draw with the exact same group on the ice.
Wright to his left, Raby to his right, and Martin and Nielsen off the draw. Martin with a shot that goes wide as he had it fed from Nielsen. Puck flies high into the air. Poirier covers up and register with a big-time shove of Cameron Wright. It's kind of an awkward-looking play as it kind of flipped in the air, and Poirier gloved it. And some teams, you know, you're talking about protecting your goaltender. Idaho,
that's got to be a penalty.
They're one of the teams that are strongest in terms of protecting their goaltender. We saw the surprisingly great year that Wichita had back in the 2020-21 season. And one thing that was noticeable was, 1, the .930 team save percentage they had, and 2 was they went above and beyond to make sure that nobody got to their goaltender. And Idaho is one of those teams. They do a good job going above and beyond.
Are you really not going to call a penalty here? I would be shocked if this was not a penalty, and it does not look like they're gonna. Wow. That was absolutely a two-handed chuck to the back. How do you not call a penalty on that. How do you not? I mean, that is Brady, I believe, with a two-handed chuck to the back of Cam Wright. And there's just, I mean, the official is standing there watching the play. How are you telling me that's not a penalty?
Draw one by the Steelheads. They'll throw it over to Domowski. Clears it out to center. As we got the same 5 on the ice for Utah, Cameron Wright with a left wing pass, steps over the line. He tried to drop it off for Raby, but the pass is behind him out to center ice. Less than 4 minutes left in regulation. As Martin will feed it out to Sekos, who tapped it into the Idaho zone. Poirier in front of his crease will clear it out to center ice. Domowski gloves it and drops it. He gets around Bryson Martin, taken by Nilsson. Nilsson out to center ice for Sekos. He'll get it to Cameron Wright on the left side, neutralized. It bounces off of his stick. Idaho gets it back. Register. We'll throw it out to center ice for Domowski. Domowski spins it along the wall. Victor Bartley in the right corner gets it. Bartley will throw it to McDonald. The Grizzlies captain will feed it ahead to Sekos. Sekos crosses center ice right wing and dumps it in. Bouncing puck off the backboards of Idaho zone. Fans take up a Let's Go Grizzlies chant. As Cutler tried to feed it out in front, but nobody was home as it goes to the right side. Pfizer spins it along the wall. Now it's on the near side, and Keller is able to clear it out.
It's going to be icing again.
Icing waved off by the linesman. Now. So Keller is able to get off the ice. Keller's one of those guys, he plays a strong two-way game. Hedrick has a bounce off his stick. Cutler crosses center ice. He'll skate towards his right. Cutler on side as he skates to the right corner, trying to backhand it out in front. Bounced off of Brady. Utah will skate towards their left. McDonald over to Bartley. Victor left side takes a shot that goes wide. Rolls along to the right wing for Penner. He takes a shot, saved by Poirier. Rebound goes out to Idaho. Still it's cleared out to center. 2:38 and counting left in the third. And Bartley was looking for Pfizer. Pass didn't connect, and icing is on the Grizzlies. 2:35 left in the third, and we'll keep an eye on Trent Minder to see when he comes off for an extra skater. The faceoff's going to be in the Grizzlies zone.
Really surprised that wasn't a penalty. Man, that would have been a golden opportunity, and it was well earned by Cam right there. And now you got to have a faceoff win. Tyler Penner on the icing is going to take the draw.
Jack Becker will take the faceoff for Idaho. And Penner's kicked out of the faceoff circle. Could be Cutler to take it.
No, they let Pens back in.
Yeah. Draws in the right circle. Colin Klein, a dorsal linesman, drops. It's won by Idaho. Ducharme with the shot that's blocked. Pfizer gets it. He'll throw it to Cutler, but it goes past him. Gloved by Register and dropped, and he'll give it over to Dawson Bardo. Bardo will ricochet it off the near wall. Now McDonald gets it. He'll feed it across to Nilsson. It goes past him out to the left side. Nilsson fakes it to McDonald. He'll throw it ahead to Raby. Dakota Raby up ahead. Bounced off the stick. Sekos in the zone trying to locate it. Left wing. Sekos now in the corner. Spins it around. Wright chases to the right corner to get it. Wright and Becker collide. As Bardo takes the puck. Raby nearby. Raby over to Wright, who spins it along the wall. 2 minutes left in the third period. Center pass shot. And that one goes wide. Out in front, Wright was looking for a redirection. Utah gets over to Raby. Trent Miner skating off the ice. As Martin, high slot, shot. Glove saved by Poirier. Wright was out in front along with Register. Register holds up Wright. Bardo pushes up Wright. 1:48 left in the third period. Trent Miner skated to the bench late in the play. It's almost like you're daring the referee to make a call, and the referee at this point in the game probably doesn't want to make the call, but you know, sometimes you got to make a tough call, but
you have
like he wants to make one.
You have to. You cannot. And this is what I don't understand. Everybody says, well, you can't make that call. Absolutely you can, and you should. It's the calls you do not make that always determine the outcome of the game. And look at that, Johnny Walker back on the ice. Have not seen much at number 7 tonight for the Utah Grizzlies.
He's a scoring threat. He's at 6-on-5. Trent Miner's net is empty. It's the Steelheads 3 and the Grizzlies 2. Every face-off is important, but from now until the end of the game, it's huge. Utah wins the draw. Pfizer over to Sekos, back to Pfizer. One-timer. On it got blocked by Keller. Bounces off the glass. Cutler behind the net. Over towards right, back to Cutler. Cutler over to Pfizer. Pfizer back to Cutler, trying to locate it. He does. Cutler will skate towards the corner. Now Pfizer gets it. He skates towards the right side up top over to Nilsson on the left. Nilsson will take a lefty shot. Saved by Poirier. Rebound out in front. And Utah on the right side. One-timer goes wide. And Grizzlies still in the zone with the puck. Nilsson over to Pfizer. 1:17 left in regulation. Idaho leads 3-2. Sekos trying to feed it across to Cutler. Glanced off his stick. Couldn't do anything with it. Nilsson over to Pfizer in the high slot over to Sekos. Right side takes a lefty shot. On a glance off the long stick of Matt Register and flies out of play. 1:05 left in the third period, but it was a huge face-off win by the Grizzlies, and they kept it in the offensive zone for a good 40 seconds.
You call a timeout here. I'm curious to see. Ryan Kanasowicz will usually use his timeouts
here. He picked up the clipboard, and he is going to
call the timeout.
And I can do this on YouTube with the audio feed. I can actually signal timeout myself.
As Kanasowicz calls the timeout, everybody will skate over there.
Well, I think he wants to make sure he keeps this six on the ice. They already had a 40-second shift, and so you give them a little bit of rest. And obviously, Idaho can set things up as well. But that was a big face-off win by the Grizzlies, setting up that time. They worked the puck around quite a bit. Idaho's just going to pack that middle. They're not going to. They'll let Utah throw it around the outside quite a bit. They're going to pack the middle and make sure that, if you want to get a goal, you're going to have to somehow get the puck in there. Where there's a lot of Idaho bodies and sticks.
But that's where the ability to shoot from the point is something we don't talk about enough. When you're a D-man, or when you're, in this case, a sixth skater, there's going to be an extra man at the top of the zone, A, to keep that puck in as best you can, but B, you have to have a really smart shot from the point, because it's easy to get those shot blocked. The best guys, Andrew Nielsen included, the best guys have the ability not to get that blocked at the first level, and it finds its way to the net. And now a huge face-off with Zach Sekos, who we featured on face-offs to begin the game. 1 minute to go. Tyson Whiting takes you home.
Right circle's where the face-off is. Jack Becker will take it for Idaho. He's who Everett Sheen considers to be his best face-off guy, because this is the biggest face-off of the game. Colin Kleinendorf is telling Sekos, look, we got to do it a certain way. Draw one by. Puck stays in the circle for a while. Utah wins it. Cameron right over to Pfizer. Across to Nilsson on the left side. Nilsson's near the boards. They'll throw it up top to Pfizer. He takes a quick wrist shot. Saved by Poirier. Rebound Cutler. He's on the left side. Trying to feather it out in front. It goes past everybody and out of the zone. Pfizer will have to race back into his own zone to get it. 45 seconds left in regulation. It's 3-2 Steelheads. Left wing pass to Wright. Wright will bounce it off the boards. It rolls to the right point for Sekos. 35 seconds left. Sekos will throw it to Nilsson. Nilsson with a shot. Redirected, goes just wide. Didn't miss by much. Hedrick bounces off of Pfizer. Now another Steelhead will kick it out to center ice. It's Becker. Becker throws it to the empty net. Nilsson got a stick in the way. Becker with the puck in the right corner. Feeds it to the goal line for Ducharme. Ducharme battling with Cutler in the corner. Now back to Becker. 15 seconds left. Becker with a shot that goes wide. Utah gets it. Nilsson crosses center ice. Grizz roll it around the boards. 7 seconds left. Take a strange bounce off a stanchion. Idaho got it. Right off the board. It took a strange bounce towards the slot. Idaho clears it out, and that will do it. Idaho wins 3-2 as they have swept the Grizzlies in this three-game series. Idaho outscored Utah 13-3 in the series as Utah got goals from Keaton Jamison and Bryson Martin. The only goal scored in the third period was 4:56 in as Ty Pelton-Bice picked up his 5th goal of the season. He's going to be the #1 star of the game. Utah outshot Idaho 34-23, and Utah certainly had a lot of good scoring chances, but Idaho holds on as they sweep the three-game series. Idaho's record goes to 10-2-0-1. The Grizzlies fall below the 500 mark. They are now 6-7. Postgame show coming up next. Once again, the final score, Idaho 3, Utah 2 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Welcome back to the Maverik Center as the Idaho Steelheads knock off your Utah Grizzlies 3-2 to sweep the three-game homestand. And Tyson, this is just another one of those Idaho, Utah games where it's very close. One play makes all the difference. And again, not to belabor the point, but you really needed this win. But do you come out of this game feeling better about yourself?
This felt a little bit more like a typical Grizzlies Steelheads game, a one-goal contest. You know, the Grizzlies were able to win a couple face-offs there at the end. They were able to get the offensive zone time, and then Idaho was able to get that puck out of the zone there, and Utah didn't really have much of a chance there. But they were able to, from about 1:48 left in regulation to when the whistle blew with 1:05. Utah had a lot of offensive zone time. They had the right guys on the ice. They had Sekos, they had Pfizer. It felt like they were due at any moment to score that tying goal. And Idaho is just a team defensively that they're not going to give you much. And so it's like when they do turn the puck over, you got to take advantage of it. And I thought it was a good game. It was one of those where just Utah ended up running out of time there at the end.
And I feel a little differently than that. I think the issue is you're not making those little plays that Idaho made in this series. And I know that it's going to look like on paper, right, that you lost 13-3, right? That's what this is going to look like. To me, it was much closer than that. And I think it's the pass here, the turnover there. It's making the decision to keep that puck along the wall instead of throw it into the middle of the ice. And you look at some of these situations, that goal right there is a perfect example. If you're watching on YouTube, that puck gets thrown across. There's nothing Trent Miner's doing about that. You have to be able to take the body maybe and cut that off. And as you go along and you watch these, the puck is getting to the front of the net. And the tough part about that is that you're not able to defend that and then come out with momentum. But you look at some of these opportunities for Idaho, this is very simply just a lot of open ice. But I thought as the game went on, Tyson, the ice tilted in favor of the Grizzlies because they started passing the puck better. You started passing your way aggressively through the neutral zone, and I think that's an absolute critical part of the offense for the Utah Grizzlies. And if you're not going to do that, and if you're not going to play through pace especially, or play through the neutral zone with pace, I think it's going to be very difficult for the Grizzlies to win games against Idaho.
Utah outshot Idaho 16-6 in the third period. They had 7 scoring chances to Idaho's 4.
Yeah. I mean, look at the shot total for the game, 34-23. Those are numbers that you're used to seeing on the Idaho side.
Yeah, Idaho doesn't allow that many shots, and the Grizzlies were able to get all those looks. And really the deciding factor in the game, it's a tough luck. Right out off a face-off, Domowski won it over to Pelton Bice, and, Colton Keller was there was no way Trent Miner could see where Pelton Bice was because Colton Keller was in his way. Didn't have a vision. And
and there's
Bice,
that goal right there.
Quick-looking wrist shot.
Yeah.
Trent didn't see it, and by the time he did see it, it was too late.
And it's tough as a butterfly goaltender, though. Nowadays, everybody's a butterfly goaltender, which means, essentially your knees and your pads are on the ice. You got to be post to post, and it's when you can't see it, it's not going through your mind. A goaltender has to think his way through a lot of tight situations like that because a lot of goaltending, I think, as everybody knows, a lot of goaltending is being in the right place to get hit by the puck and then controlling that rebound. But when you're blind on a faceoff like that, it's very difficult to tell yourself to stay on that near post.
And that goal ended up being the difference in the game. It's just tough break. They always talk about puck luck, and it just doesn't seem like in this series the Grizzlies had much of that. And, there's a lot of couldas, wouldas, and shouldas, and centering passes that just, bounced off a stick or was just a little bit wide, or a rebound attempt, and your finish was just, just barely sliding past the side of the net, just outside. It's just a lot of those things happen, and just all just kind of added up. And Idaho being a good team, they were able to take advantage of some of their some of their opportunities, and the Grizzlies just didn't capitalize on enough of theirs. And turns into a 3-game sweep as a result.
Look, there's nothing wrong with saying it. You got beat by a team that was better than you this weekend. Are they, on the whole, a better team than the division champion Utah Grizzlies? I don't know if I'm ready to say that. But what I do know is the Idaho Steelheads are a better team in this series, over this 3 games, over this weekend, than the Utah Grizzlies were. The Grizzlies now are off until Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they're going to have some time to work on these things, to work on those little fundamental transition plays to get yourself out of the zone quicker and with momentum, because that's how you get back to winning ways. That's how you get to scoring more goals. Because the bottom line is, over a 3-game stretch, if you're only going to score 3 goals, you're not going to win many 3-game series. I mean, you're not going to win one series in this league a lot of nights on 3 goals.
Yeah, you're not going to do it. And you put a lot of pressure on your defense and your goaltending. It's just you leave yourself with no margin of error. Grizzlies were able to score a couple goals. There was a lot of things they did well, and you just kind of hope that a little bit of hard work and a little bit of practice and just see if you can find those right combinations and the right the right formula. I think Ryan Kanasowicz and company will find that. They got a 3-game series. The Trois-Rivieres Lions are hovering around the 500 mark this season, and it's a complete mystery.
Yes.
What's going to happen this weekend, because we've never seen them and they've never seen us, and there's only a handful of players on the Lions roster, as I was looking at it earlier today, that have even played against the Grizzlies and vice versa. There really hasn't been any Grizzlies outside of maybe 1 or 2 guys in the Eastern Conference last year, maybe Cam Strong or somebody like that's even faced the Lions. So they're going into this thing with a complete mystery. That first game, you just got to come out strong and set the tone for the rest of the series. And, you got a feeling that Sekos and Pfizer and Cutler, they're all due. And you just hope that you get off to a fast start Friday and just keep carrying it over. You don't know the Lions very much, and so it's just kind of like the old saying, you just got to keep working hard, and you hope the good things will happen.
All right, let's come back in 60 seconds, and Guy's going to join us. He'll have your final stats on the game as well as a scoreboard from the Mountain Division in the ECHL. But unfortunately, on a Sunday afternoon, it's Idaho 3, the Utah Grizzlies 2. This is Utah Grizzlies Hockey.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Welcome back to the Maverik Center. If you're watching us on YouTube, thanks so much for being here. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel grow. Before we get to Guy and the stats and scoreboard tonight, I want to remind you tomorrow is a very big day here at the Maverik Center as the NBA's AAA level G League tips off here for the first time at the Maverik Center as the Salt Lake Stars will be in the building against the Santa Cruz Warriors. James Wiseman is an NBA caliber player, has got a championship ring. He is with the Santa Cruz Warriors. Coming out to the Maverik Center, get to the box office, get the Ticketmaster, and get your G League tickets. The Salt Lake Stars. How about the Utah Jazz winning 2 straight over the weekend? Well, the Salt Lake Stars, you're going to see a lot of guys on that team, including Agbaji for the Utah Jazz. That's tomorrow. Monday and Tuesday, the Stars will play in the building. So come on out, see the remodeled, renovated Maverik Center. And without further ado, Guy, let's talk about the final stats of the game.
Well, fellas, the Grizzlies fall to the Steelheads 3-2 tonight, but there was a lot to like about this game from a Grizzlies perspective, even though they did get swept. They outshot the Steelheads, something that doesn't happen very often, able to put 34 shots on the board to the Steelheads 23, and they outshot the Grizzlies outshot the Steelheads 10-1 in the final 10 minutes of that third period. So they built a lot of momentum heading towards the end of the game. Cameron Wright had 7 shots on goal. Andrew Nielsen had 4 shots in his return from injury. Face-offs were a bit even in the third period, although Idaho was one ahead 12-11. Utah outshot the Steelheads 16-6 in the third period, a rare occurrence, so something to build upon in the series against the Lions. And Utah also out-hit the Steelheads in this game, and they out-hit them 9-5 in the period, which is big because the Steelheads are a bit of a bigger team than the Grizzlies, so for them to come out and be more physical against the Steelheads is big. It builds momentum.
And I think, Guy, at one point it was like 11-4. The Grizzlies were leading in the hits. Like, I agree with you 100%. I think that's absolutely a shocker.
For the Grizzlies, this is a tough game to lose, a tough series to lose, but I think there's a lot of reason for optimism. They played very well in this game, and I feel like their game got progressively better as the series went on. And yeah, you hate to lose this game, but we're on to Trois-Rivieres. You know, there's still a lot of games left to be played. We're still in the first quarter of the season, just about. You know, I always feel like the games until Christmas, you kind of just seem to find your way. And the Grizzlies
Yeah.
are right now trying to find their way.
And I think one of the more difficult parts about this series is we all, as fans and spectators and analysts, want to look at the standings. Well, you dropped 6 points to the Idaho Steelheads, and you're going to have to really overcome quite a bit there to get that back. I think your point's exactly right. We're early. We haven't even gotten to Black Friday or Thanksgiving, which happens Thursday and Friday. I think you're exactly right.
There's plenty of time to turn this thing around, guys. And, the other thing is the Utah Grizzlies just came off of a Mountain Division championship. There's a massive target on their back. They're the division championship team. They want, there is a target on their back. And the Steelheads came out there and wanted to make a statement and say, hey, yeah, we can go toe-to-toe with Utah. We're not little brother anymore. And the Grizzlies need to find a way to show them we're big brother. We're going to put you guys in your place. And so to put, you mentioned that the Steelheads are up in points right now. Like I said, it's too early to look at the standings. The Grizzlies are finding their way. They're going to be fine. They're a good team. Kanasowicz is a great coach. They'll find their way. And they play a lot of their games against the Steelheads, so there's plenty of time to get these points back.
Yeah. 2 weeks from now, we'll be in Idaho, by the way, as the Grizzlies take on the Steelheads up in Boise. So there's no question that, yeah, absolutely, there's a lot of real estate left in this season. Guy, what's the ECHL scoreboard look like this afternoon?
Yeah, the Mountain Division was back in action today. 6 teams, including these 2, were on the docket. We have 2 games that went to overtime. Rapid City and Tulsa were tied 3-3 at the end of the third. Rapid City pulls ahead 4-3. They improved to 6-7. Tulsa falls to 3-5-3. And over in Kansas, in Wichita, we had another overtime game. Kansas City Mavericks pull ahead 5-4. They improved to 7-3-1, and the Thunder dropped to 7-2-2.
Well, that's probably the results you wanted. 7-2-2. The Thunder are a very, very good team right now. They've gotten off to a very good start, so I think that's exactly right. Guy, we will talk to you next Friday here at the Maverik Center. Tyson, any final words to wrap it up?
Well, the Grizzlies during the road trip had a 4-game winning streak. Now they're on a 4-game losing streak, and they've got a team that they don't know very well. They'll get some practices in, and I think you just have to find a way that right formula. Once they find that right formula, everything will click. But the right formula just seems like once Kanasowicz finds those right line combinations, and if Nilsson coming back today was certainly big after missing Friday. You never know what the roster is going to look like. Obviously, there's always a subtle change or two, maybe a call up from the call up to the AHL, or somebody coming down. Ben Tardif and Nate Klerman right now. Have spent a lot of time with the Grizzlies. Are up in the AHL, and they're getting some good playing time up there. So it's just, get a couple practices in, and you can't get too discouraged. You just got to keep battling.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. By the way, it's interesting to note that, as Guy talked about, you're going to see this team a whole lot. So we are far from done with the Grizzlies and the Idaho Steelheads. Don't forget, we'll join you next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday right here at Maverik Center. Make sure you get to UtahGrizzlies.com to get those tickets. There is Pride Night next weekend as well. Make sure that you come out and join us for that. But this weekend was a tough one, and Tyson, I don't believe that they'll probably just go to bed and forget this one tomorrow, but you sure would like to, because you never like dropping points to the Steelheads.
No, especially with as much of a rivalry it is, and with as evenly matched as these teams are from year to year. It's just one of those things. It's a tough weekend, but you just got to keep battling, and you got the Lions, a team that on paper you should be able to handle, even though these teams haven't faced each other yet, and you just got to find a way to win at least 2 out of 3 here before you head back on the road for Boise the following weekend. You got to find a way to protect home ice, because if you're talking about even if you go 500 on the road, you still got to find a way to win 24, 25 home games in order to win the division, because the division probably is going to take 44 or 45 wins, something like that. So it's important to protect home ice, especially when you're talking about teams like Idaho and other teams in the division that do a good job protecting home ice themselves. And so it's going to be an interesting test. Friday, 6:40 pregame show, 7:10 face-off here on Black Friday. Remember, it's an AFCU Friday where tickets start at $8, and you pay using our AFCU debit or credit card at the Maverik Center box office. Saturday, November 26th, is the second annual Pride Night presented by FedEx, and then Sunday will be a 3 o'clock start, just as today's was. And Utah usually plays pretty well on a Sunday. They gave it a good effort, but Idaho got the victory. It was a quick one in 2 hours and 18 minutes and in front of 3,017 here at Maverik Center. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and not necessarily the final outcome. For Guy Carenza and Tim Montemayor, I'm Tyson Whiting, and it is what it is. We'll talk to you on Friday night right here on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.